morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. Episode, 72, I think it is? The Delayed Tactics episode. And we are going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, before I get started, let me first and foremost apologize to my audio listeners because of all the stuff that had happened between the vacation and your man getting a little bit under the weather. There were some technical issues stopping the upload from happening, so you guys might be an episode or two behind, but that will be corrected like today. I promise you, it'll be absolutely repaired. But I just wanted to acknowledge that at the top. I know that some folks have been reaching out to me saying, hey, the audio episodes aren't lining up. So thank y'all so much for keeping me updated and keeping the support there. And I'll make sure I have that corrected. But let's get into it. I am your host, Mr. K Asante, TKO Asante, Xbox, PlayStation, all the places you can find me. I already see the chat is lively. I appreciate y'all for being here. And of course, I am joined as usual by the man who is out here on these Twitter streets making sure you know you wrong, even if you don't want to hear it. Mr. Everborn Saga, how you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, I thought that was the intro for Dragons, but yeah.
Well, I'm repurposing, sir. I'm repurposing.
Hey man, listen, man. I broke my own rule on Twitter last night, which is you only get 3 responses.
Oh wow! You gave somebody more than 3?
I decided I had time last night. We'll talk about it later. A lot of people are selectively quoting documents then not reading the documents that they're quoting, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about it later. But suffice to say, they lied. And
they lied.
Your mileage may vary on who they is, but they definitely lied.
And the sultry sounds that you are hearing, ladies and gentlemen, is our esteemed guest. You know this man if you've been in this community. Why has it taken us this long to get this man on this show? That is on me. 108 Dragons TV from the 108 Dragons YouTube channel. Man, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome to have you here. You're always in our chat. Great support of the show. We support you and all the things you do. Thank you for being here. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Man, life is grand, man. First of all, shout out to both of y'all for being amazing individuals in this community. We need more stand-up individuals that do positive things, man, because we got enough negative out here, but it's gonna be some negative comments made today. I'm prepared to give all the smoke, man. That's a fact.
Hey, Dragons Surface Duo game.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yo, mine is in the room. You know what? First of all, let me shout my brother out, right? Because I go into certain chats and we be talking and I show tech, and sometimes I go into some chats and people go, well, I can't buy that. Or why are you doing that? I'm like, I'm just showing you what I got, bro.
That's right.
You know, it's not showing off. We amongst gamers, we amongst tech people, we supposed to show and divulge different things. And my man always pulls up. He always pulls up, King.
I was not about to do a tech drop section this week. But yeah, we all got some interesting things. We all got some interesting things.
Yo, listen.
I'm just gonna put that right there real quick.
I went to B&H yesterday. Cognito posted, don't buy the store. I left it with a lot of stains.
You bought the store.
Even an OLED TV. And I'm not even into OLED. I bought an OLED for the bedroom. I got a 65-inch LED, but it's just too damn big for the space, and only 48 inches could fit between that space. So I said, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I pulled the trigger and got an OLED and a $2,000 goddamn Canon lens.
See, I can't. This is why I can't go to B&H, right? Like,
nope.
B&H is like, they're drug dealers, right?
I'm only allowed in that building if I don't have a credit card in my hand. Otherwise, I'm not allowed in that building. So it's okay.
No, I'm going to tell you what's crazy. I walk in the building. Certain people see me. You know what they say? It's Lemon. Hey, how you doing? I did a vlog in there one day and said, y'all don't care about me. Y'all only care about my wallet. Sure enough, what you need today? And I left with a few things.
Yeah, you know how it goes, brother. You know how it goes.
The techno lust runs deep when they know your name when you walk in.
Yo, that's right. You know, take a seat in your favorite chair. What's going on?
Yo, it's carte blanche for me in B&H, and that's a bad thing. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing.
They said we hitting a lick when you walked in.
Okay. Let me reel this back in real quick. Let me thank all the people that I see in our chat. I see the OG Pixelbit G's in the house. I see Mr. Joanna Dark. It's Timmy version 2. What's going on, man? How you doing? Oh, yeah, Sycamore's in here, man. He's ready to argue. It's going to be a good day. I'm looking forward to it. This is great. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't done that already. Let folks know we in here. We're about to talk games. And on Mr. that note,
Inferno Games in here too.
I did not see Mr. Inferno Games. Oh, and Outbreak Podcast and Sith Lord. Thank you guys, all of you, so much for pulling up. Such a great support system. Such a great team that always seems to show up every time we have a show. We appreciate y'all, and it's growing every day. So thank you guys very much. Let us get started as we always do.
Slow-mo to rear his ugly head.
Oh, leave slow-mo backslap alone. When he shows up, we contend with him as we do. Let's start as we always do, and with the games we have been playing. I will ask you, 108. You are our guest. What games have been keeping you busy this week?
Vampire Survivor. I started Gungrave. Call of Duty Has My Soul, and the Battlefield update is incredible.
Okay, so start at the top. Tell me the greatness that is Vampire Survivor. It is the greatest game ever. Why is it the greatest game ever? Yes, it is the greatest game ever. Go.
I'm gonna tell you why it's one of the greatest games ever. Because it looks like an 8-bit game, and I'm playing it.
That's right.
And I'm a graphic whore. So if it could pull me in, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm always looking for the next best thing. I'm the dude that say, listen, I don't care about 60 frames. I want graphic fidelity in 30. Long as a single player. So
you worse than me. Come on now.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. So if that game could pull me in, and not only did it pull me in, shout out to Cassie Bolega from Ham Solo Channel, because she's the person that kept telling me, I was like, man, if you don't get your 8-bit behind out of here, I don't want to hear that. Like, yo, come on, man. I spent all this stuff. You spend about $500 systems to play 8-bit games. I ain't doing this. Boy, hours.
Hey, you know what's a problem now? They just dropped it on mobile.
Bro, it was my talk of the show. The minute they went and you can have it now, it was on my phone, and I was watching the rest of the Game Awards while playing Vampire Survivors on my phone.
Now I have, and I'm telling you this, I have specifically, like, purposefully not played this game, not because I'm shunning it, not because I'm worried about the graphics, but I have heard too many good things. And my productivity will be in the bushes and the garbage.
Gameplay genius, bro. From a how games are made perspective, people need to like analyze this game. It is so good, and it keeps giving you more. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Please continue.
No. But it's always been on mobile. Shout out to Game Pass and xCloud.
Yeah. True.
It's always been there because I was playing it at my people's crib on my Surface Pro 8 and was like, hey, this is cloud. Let me play this. And I killed the battery on my Surface Pro because I forgot my plug home. So if you play this on your phone, have a backup battery bank or have your plug with you because it's one of those games like that.
Putting the cores to work. By the way, I peeped what you did right there with that Surface Pro 8 drop. They don't know about that. They don't know. This is going to be one of those. I knew exactly what you did when you did it.
I'm a little. I throw a little jab here and there.
This is going to be one of those. Fantastic.
I love that. Yo, listen. I like when y'all start talking about VR. I almost pulled the trigger on that VR. I almost did, but then when it was more like the business side and AR, I said, "Oh no, that's not for me." That's
I want to get into that too. Like, I want to talk about that at some point. Like they're marketing it as a business device, but all the sources I spot, and all the people that are dealing with it, and even shout out to Asa from Game On Daily. He has a Pro set. Much like the Quest 2, it's like they start at the bottom and then they work their way up to make it worth the value that they're trying to hit. That's the reason why that Quest 2 became more expensive. Where it started with those features, you couldn't justify it. But at the end, you were like, "Yep, I'll pay $100 more," because it does so much more than it did when it started. So I think that's what they're aiming for here. Go ahead, Evan Boy.
Let me say something about that. it's a very weird positioning of that device, right? Mm-hmm. And like, there's no, you work in enterprise, I work in enterprise. Anybody that works in enterprise will tell you there's no business you're going to walk in that is going to put a VR headset on their head.
No, hell no.
They're lying, they're lying to themselves if they think that. And the fact that it's this big $500 billion company that is like, it's priced like it's for enterprise, right?
Yeah. It's priced as if it's a foregone conclusion for enterprise, which is ridiculous.
No one wants it, and they haven't made the case for why they should have it.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Now, let me to your point, Everborn, and we're gonna derail crazy because that's what we do here. And shout out to all the folks that are joining in. I see Victor Alistine in here. I see Lucius Augustus. I see Mitchie Dies a lot. Thank you guys so much for coming. So, to your point as to nobody wants it. So y'all know I'm the purveyor of the Nreal Air. I love this thing, right? And shout out to Pixelbit G, who also uses it. The combination of Nreal Air and Steam Deck is amazing. My only time I find this useful in business is when I don't want to connect an extra screen, like an extra monitor. I'm on a conference call. I need to see some work. I need to see like a whole spreadsheet of something that I'm talking about. So I'll plug this in, and it'll just basically be a second screen in my face. And then I'll have the spreadsheet on my face while the thing is on the other thing, right? But even in that scenario, I turn the video off. I don't want nobody seeing me looking crazy while I do that.
But again, it is an enthusiast device.
It is,
right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Facts.
Right? Which is fine, but you need to market it as such. You cannot say that you're gonna market this to C-suite executives or workers like that, because it's gonna slow them down. It's not gonna have a battery life that's gonna last all day. So what is really the purpose other than I like VR and I want to try something?
It's very strange. The battery life alone is like, it's an hour max. Whose work day is an hour?
Lord have mercy.
What's going on here?
That's kind of useless.
I'm saying this to say, market it to the people who are in there, and if you want to call it a pro device, then that's fine. But I don't think $1,500 is the right price for something that enterprise is not actually going to use.
Yep. And I don't know what the tech is. You didn't even need to call it enterprise to charge it what you charged it. The Index was $1,000, right? The original Valve, the Nreal HTC Vive, was about $1,000 with the base station. People paid for it. I have my base stations in here still now. You don't need to pro it up or call it enterprise to charge a steep price, as long as the value, the technology and the edge cutting is there.
Let me ask both of y'all.
I suspect that part is the problem.
Let me ask both of y'all a question. Do you think they was marketed as towards more of the company side, so companies buy this in bulk compared to the consumers?
I think that's what they're doing.
I just think it's foolhardy and no one's going to buy it. Listen,
absolutely.
Dragons, and I know you know about this, right? Do you remember the HoloLens?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got to test.
We're going to ignore the fact that they ripped off that whole design.
Oh yeah.
Right. If you look at
I got to test that out in Windows Store in New York.
Yes. Same here. Right. So, like, the HoloLens is sort of marketed as industrial device, right? This is not marketed as that. This is marketed as something that people sitting at their desk will use, and it makes no sense.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So if you wanted to market it as an AR device that factory workers can use to look at schematics, turn things around, do all that. The Microsoft was able to sort of secure multi-billion-dollar contracts doing that, even selling it to NASA. Who is going to use in enterprise, in office meetings, to go on Teams and have conference calls? Who's going to put this thing on their head? Why would you market it to that group? It don't make sense to me. Anyway, we're getting to
you are 100% correct. And to your point, just real quick, all those people who did happen to tap into the HoloLens, but the Quest Pro, say that it is a great gaming device in spite of its marketing, right? So don't pay attention to how it's marketed. if you want that, not necessarily the Quest Pro, like gaming pro level stuff, but all of those games that use it, like Red Matter 2, a few of these other games, are actually updating their stuff to handle the foveated rendering and all the tech that's in there, right? So even though they're not marketing it as a gaming device, it is very much a gaming device, and Meta, Facebook should just be quiet and just churn these things out. And stop
I think the right price for it being a gaming device would have been $999.
Yes, it would have been $1,000 clean. Absolutely, yes.
I still wouldn't have bought it. I still wouldn't have bought it though.
Yeah. But it would have been a better, a more.
You know why I heard about that device? Mm-hmm. Right here. Mm. When you was like, oh, they just dropped this thing. I ain't gonna never forget it. I was like, yo, what is he talking about? So I go and look it up, and I started doing my homework. I said, you're not getting my money, and I'm an enthusiast. Yeah. No.
You see, the marketing really did a number.
That's reserved for B&H.
B&H demo spot. The demo section. Indeed, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't know this for sure, but I suspect, and we'll get back on the regular gaming tip. But I suspect the reason why they're marketing it the way they are is because they already have a Quest 3 like all but done, waiting to release in the next 3 months or so. Yeah, right. So they're trying to separate their lanes. Why sell this to the pro team, to the pro gamers scene, when we got that Quest 3 coming out literally in like 3-4 months, and that will be for them, right? I think that they're making a bad argument, but I see why they're doing it.
That will be we shall see. Than Sony's VR,
which yeah. Well, just by the very nature of it,
than Sony's VR.
By the very nature of it, absolutely. It will be because you don't have to, they tend to still be very much the all-in-one. If you want to add a PC to it, that's you. But if you don't want to, you can still make use of it. And obviously, PlayStation is solely focused on the PlayStation. So you need the PS5 before you can add, your additional costs. So you're absolutely right on that. Besides Vampire Survivors, that led us to a complete derailing
AKA
of the topic.
Digital crack.
Yes, aka digital crack, which I still think Everborn Saga, from the perspective of, hey, this is a game maker looking at how games are made. You should give it a shot. What else 108 Dragons has been keeping you busy this week?
Yo, listen, man. Battlefield took a lot of flack in the beginning. That game is the most beautiful first-person shooter game I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, and anybody, listen, it's on Game Pass, aka EA Play.
Yep.
Download that game. First of all, it works flawlessly now. But if you look at that game, you can see a mile out. It is crystal clear graphics. That Frostbite engine is a beast. It is so detailed. When you look at their character models, like I'm like, Jesus Christ. And now they got all these. They bringing back old weapons, old maps, new weapons. They got railgun tanks. It's crazy. And at the end of the day, there's really no game in the world that got 128 people doing the things that game do. Talking about explosions, destruction of the environment, just the tech involved with the weapons you use. Battlefield's a problem for me, man. Mostly anything competitive because, I forgot to mention this. Fortnite, Unreal 5.1. I'm a 120 guy in multiplayer, right?
Okay.
I will never play that game 120 again. It will be 60 frames. And definitely, it's beautiful.
Because of the visuals?
Yes. Yes.
Please speak on that a little, because and this will be another small derail, as we do. People
every podcast derail, bro.
Oh yeah, this is what we're doing. That's right.
One thing leads to the other.
That's what this episode is definitely going to be. Like,
if you want to see the power, of a game of Unreal, and we have no other title to go by, right?
Exactly where I was going to go with you, sir. That has been a question of concern coming up more and more. Unreal Engine 5 games have not really hit, and they've been delaying. So Fortnite, as stylized as it is your first example of a real Unreal Engine 5, and I hear it's 5.1 now.
Yes.
Right? And you've been playing Unreal, you've been playing Fortnite way before the Unreal 5 update.
Yeah.
Right? So you can tell the real difference. I know people have been clowning it because of the art style and all that, but you definitely see those differences.
Does not take away from graphics. That's people that don't have the vision and the mentality to understand what be going on in front of them, right? They think because it looks like a cell shaded game, that's not graphics. That's graphics. It's harder to do a cell shaded game than it is to do a regular polygon game.
And
people don't even know that
cell shaded games hold up
far longer. Than
the ones that try to be
Go play Jet Set Radio Future right now. That game's still beautiful to this very day.
Yes, very artistic also.
Yes.
So just like Wind Waker.
Yo, yeah.
Yes. Don't start that conversation.
Right.
Oh boy.
I'm ready to have that conversation. I'm here for the smoke. By the way, fun fact, I've never played Fortnite a day in my life.
Somebody shut his mic off. Shut his mic off. That's blasphemy.
See, I'm telling you, some of the games that this man has never touched, and he thinks he needs to speak on gaming. It upsets me, sir. Go play GTA and then come back at me, bro.
And I have played. That's all I do.
Well, he hasn't played Uncharted 2, this man.
I stopped after the first one.
He hasn't played GTA 5, this man. He hasn't played GTA 5.
GTA 4.
No. I know what he does play, though. He plays Sonic.
Yes, he does.
Damn right. Goddamn right.
Oh, boy. This is really going to be one of those episodes. I'm telling you.
Yeah, listen, I'm a Sonic guy. Sonic raised generations of kids, like Star Wars.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so did Mario. So when people discredit them, oh, look how they look.
See, I clown
this generational wealth right there in gaming.
I clown this man, but between my daughter and myself, Sonic has played a lot in my household. She hums the theme song while she's walking. My 6-year-old, my 5-year-old does this. She's playing Sonic, the Dash, I think it is, on the tablet. I'm still playing Frontiers. We play a lot of Sonic around here. But I feel the need to give Mr. Everborn Saga some righteous smoke because he will be giving me his knees in a future episode because clearly Ragnarok is still holding strong. We will continue.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Look, God of War is my favorite. Kratos is my favorite character on PlayStation. They don't buy that.
Like no, true. In general, they don't. Yeah.
They don't buy it. Listen. This the version I bought.
Oh right? Wow, you bought it with the axe and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan, right? Mm-hmm. He's right next to me right now. He's chilling. Everybody he said, "What up?" Let me tell you something. The game is awesome. It does not sell 20 million copies.
True. I won't deny that.
There's only a couple games that make that billion mark in a generation, and Sony don't have one.
See, my argument is by Christmas. My argument is by Christmas, which is fast approaching. In 15 days, by 15 days from now, Ragnarok will still be higher in the sales chart than Sonic will be.
More people,
and when that happens,
don't do
Everborn Saga will be on his knees.
More people know and have played Sonic than your favorite game. I
mean, in the history of gaming,
of course. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about
that's
Sonic
like saying
Frontiers.
Need for Speed ain't the Need for Speed back on the 3DO day.
You see,
right? It's still the top selling racing franchise in the history of games, right?
Right. And
that's not today though.
Okay,
but today
better you, sir.
Today you can only get Ragnarok on one platform. Today, Sonic is available everywhere, and all of that. There's so many PlayStation 4s and 5s out there. How many Switches is out there?
See, you have to understand. Right? You have to understand me, sir. You have to understand me. My metric is very slim. This specific back and forth is a very, very thin slice of cake that you and I are discussing. Okay. It's about Ragnarok versus Frontiers. Hold on.
Talk to me about the Amazon Black Friday.
That was not Black Friday. Was not the end of this whole situation.
It's not.
It is in literally 15 days. It is now the 10th of December. By the 25th, which is my birthday. Shout out to everybody who know. On my birthday, that will be the deadline. And at that point, I contend that still, even though you are right, that ultimately Sonic Frontiers will beat Ragnarok in sales. I won't deny that. But by 15 days from now, Ragnarok will still be on top and your knees will be mud.
What is your metric for this, sir? How do we prove that you're right?
How do we? Okay, so
what numbers are we going to look at? Because you said
you want to use MPD?
NDP.
MPD.
NPD is on the United States.
Yeah, and that's only United States.
Sales, and right? VG charts is a guesstimation.
Is a guesstimation, exactly. But an amount, but we can have an amalgamation of these different charts to give us a rough idea. Like at some point, you'll know when Sonic beats Ragnarok. You'll know it because it'll be everywhere. Oh, it's sold so much, but that's not happened yet.
Right, but it's not going to happen.
I'm going to tell you why we're going to have a problem with these numbers. I'm going to tell y'all both something, right? I'm going to kill both of y'all real quick.
Okay, go ahead, man.
God of War is a goddamn packing from launch.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those
which also fudges the numbers, indeed.
Right.
Just like and Slow-Mo's not here, so I will channel Slow-Mo. Just as Slow-Mo has said, literally Sonic Frontiers came out and got a discount quicker than Mario Galaxy, which is on the Switch, which has been out for 2 years, right?
$46, $46.99.
They saw right away that number was wrong, so they were like, nope, real quick update, right? Just like they saw real quick, hey, Ragnarok might not hit where we wanted to hit because we didn't have a show to let everybody see it's coming. So let's pack it in and fudge the numbers. That's all fair.
Shout out to Nintendo with N64 starting that with Mario 64.
Sony is fudge packing,
but they did the same thing with Uncharted. Hold on, let me give you some quick history. Let's take it back, right? Let's take it back. Remember when Sony put that claim out there that Uncharted was doing bigger numbers than Halo, and Phil was like, "Are you crazy? Y'all packed that game in, and it's full. It's loaded in GameStop."
Yeah.
I knew that because I got a lot of DMs I rock with at GameStop, and they was giving you 50 cents for Uncharted if you traded it in because it came with the system. People didn't want it; they just got it.
Of course, it dilutes the market. Then it becomes very cheap. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm a God of War fan. I'm not knocking it, but it is a packing from day one.
Oh yeah, no. I know that the numbers are asterisks from day one. None of these will be scientific.
They bragging, we broke records. You packed it in.
But still, Everborn Saga will be wrong that by Christmas, Ragnarok.
But how, Ashanti? Those numbers,
we will get there. We'll figure it out.
The Barry Bonds asterisk, man.
True.
McGuire
absolutely. That's absolutely.
Like, do we really want to count God of War sales at 5.1?
Yeah. See, now you're trying to derail the whole conversation.
That's why I said I was saying something to both of you.
I need this man's knees.
But let's check this out. Let's check this out real quick, right? Sonic on this is just Amazon bestsellers for Black Friday.
Yes, sir.
Had I think like 4 slots for the different platforms it was on. Right? And the only item for Ragnarok that was above Sonic, because Sonic was above it in every place that Ragnarok was mentioned, like PS4 version, PS5, Sonic was above it. And I'm saying like above the Sonic PS5 version was above the Ragnarok PS5 version, but PlayStation 5 with Ragnarok packed in was number 4 on the list, whereas number 5 was Sonic for the Switch, right? So it's only in the pack-in where it landed above.
Right, right. That's my point.
More people bought Sonic on the PS5 from Amazon on Black Friday than Ragnarok.
You know what, gentlemen? We even if we never actually get the hard numbers, we will
make it up and try to claim victory.
No. That's not how it's going to go down. That's not how it's going to go down. We will get to a consensus at some point with this. But in the short term, I will ask that we poll our audience who is growing right now in our chat right now. And so thank you guys for being here. Please check the poll. I'm asking a simple question. Which one did you play? Which one of our hardcore audience have you played? Which one have you played?
I need you to also understand that Ragnarok is a thing that is more for adults, and a lot of people have kids that love Sonic that will buy Ragnarok.
There you go again. You're sidestepping before we even get to the.
I'm just adding the context before people make that. Oh, here we go.
I'm going to say something.
Slow-mo. Welcome, Slow-Mo. Welcome.
I'm going to say something to attest to that too. I don't want to hear that kid crap, and I'm going to tell you why. This is why, and I say this on all podcasts and even spaces wherever we have conversations. Party chats, right? Kids don't dominate this gaming market.
That's right.
My age group.
Yep. Switch. What's the average age of a Switch player? 25, ladies and gentlemen. 25.
Right. No, but the Switch Switch is like tricks. It's just for kids, according to the FCC.
My age group, right?
Well done, sir.
Started gaming, right? I don't know how old you two are, right? But I'm 50. I started with Pong, and I'm still here. And there's a lot of us that started this gaming community that's finishing up. You understand? And when I was a kid, the adults didn't play no damn games. None.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But now we the adults.
Yep.
I got a daughter 20 years old.
That's right.
We play games.
That's right.
If you look on all the top podcasts on YouTube, these are adults.
Yep. These aren't kids. Absolutely.
You don't see no kids. You see kids following, but you listen. When I buy a game for me, I buy a game for my daughter.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So it's like we can't just say the Switch is for kids. Most of the Switch fans
ridiculous
are in their 50s, 40s.
There's more questionable stuff on the Switch store than there is on PlayStation and Xbox.
Here's the funny part about that argument. And I know we're not talking about the FTC.
Oh yeah, we'll get into
the idea that you're saying the Switch is for kids, but also they're viable because of nostalgia. That's their market. How can you have
kids?
No, hold on a minute. How can you be for kids and then also have nostalgia?
Yeah, exactly.
If
kids don't have nostalgia. Nostalgia for what?
You're old and you remember when you had it when you was young.
So have nostalgia for a former life. Clearly,
see, this is why I rock with y'all, because that's a fact, right? People like, oh, I want a retro game. Oh, you know what I mean? People channels are retro gaming. Why? Yeah. Because they grew up on it.
Absolutely.
Listen, most of the people that does this content, right, are older people.
No, but
that's a fact.
But here's the thing:
we all got gray hairs in here. You know, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
You about to do that old Diane and hook it up, but I'm just being real. I always say that.
No, but
I was in a space. Dude was like, yeah, but for the kids, I said, what kids? We in a space talking gaming, and ain't nobody in here kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just look at the surroundings of who you speaking to. We got kids that play games, no question, but we dominate now. The older people, 25 and up.
Let's quantify that a little bit. I think in the console space and most of the PC space, that's us. But where all mobile, the growth is in gaming is on mobile, and that is where our kids are playing. That's where the next generation is
considered mobile too. So that's
absolutely yes. So but whenever they do these metrics and they call these numbers, they tend to put PC and console games together and mobile in a separate category. And in that reading, the whole market is dominated by adults. Basically, kids are a byproduct of that, right? Of the console/PC space. Mobile, you're absolutely right. Absolutely upside down, right? Believe it or not, in mobile, you'll find that females dominate over males, even in that
a lot.
Right? A lot, right?
And every game counts, even if it's solitaire.
Exactly, but by and large, when they're having these back and forth arguments about what the demographic of who's playing games these days, they're usually talking about PC and console, and that's adults more than kids.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and the reason gaming is so big, $1 trillion business today, is because, like I said, when we was younger, it was only kids. Now you have both demographics. You got kids.
Now we big kids.
Right, we big kids. That's right. Listen, Christmas is every day for me. I say,
there you go.
Like,
that's what's
but it's both now. It's not just, I had to grow up in the age where if you played games, you was a nerd.
I know.
If you wore an X-Men shirt, people like, what?
I know where you come from, sir.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. So it's like people be like, what? Now I go to gaming conventions. I got the best Marvel shirt on or DC shirt on. And
you got people coming up to you going, "That's great. Where'd you get that? I want to get that too."
Not when I was a kid. The only place I had fun was 42nd Street at the arcade when you had your quarter on that Street Fighter machine.
Oh,
now when you said 42nd Street, I didn't know you was gonna say the arcade. I was like, because 42nd Street wasn't always.
It had the 50-cent booths. We not going there. This is a friendly PG-13 channel.
This is a family show, sir.
Right.
I remember the crap days of David Dinkins.
Hey now.
No, Rudy Giuliani was worse, and Koch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what
some of those names
is the Wild Wild West.
It used to be a rite of passage to go to Times Square and get mugged, right?
Stop it. Stop it. Let's not do that.
When the dudes would start
this is not the Hate on New York podcast.
It's not. I'm from New York. I still live here. I'm straight in Brooklyn. But he's not lying.
No, he's not. No, absolutely not. I used to live in New England. I used to bring people there. They're like, I can't wait to go to New York. They're like, hey, what's that smell? I'm like, welcome to New York.
Now you should have seen where Attic got here. Attic was looking at the buildings like, wow.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That's right. I said, yeah, we live vertically.
All right, so Everborn Saga, let me bring you back in, and then
I forgot we talked about games. Okay,
right, yes. and then we will get back to the topic at hand. Sir, give me one of the games you have been playing this week before we move on.
I've only been playing one game this whole week, and that is Plague Tale Requiem.
Oh, speak on it, sir. I have left that alone because I have so many others that are taking my time. I want to sip that one like a fine wine. So I'm like about an hour in, and I stop.
In a second, because after I finished Sonic, I was looking for what to get into because I really wanted to play Callisto Protocol, and I had no problem buying it on day one. I had been looking forward to it all year, but when I heard they was gimping the Xbox version, you're not gonna get $70 from me, and then I gotta buy it on the console that I prefer less. Right? If you want my $70, you're gonna put the features on the console that I'm playing it on.
Yep.
But anyway, and then I tried to finish Deathloop because I'm right at the end of it. Why do we not talk about? And maybe a lot of people didn't play it on the Xbox. That game crashes the Xbox all the time.
Really?
I didn't play it long enough. It confused me. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone.
It took like 4 hours for me to get into that. But I've had at least 5 crashes where I had to restart the Xbox.
Interesting.
Only on Deathloop.
Honestly, that is news to me. Of course, like you're saying, like I played it on PC, obviously, because when it first came out, it was on PC. I actually bought it. I was gonna buy it on PS5, but it was cheaper on PC, so I just plugged in a PS5 controller on the PC. That's how I experienced it. Since it's been out on Xbox, I think I've played it like maybe 30 minutes worth just to see how it plays, and it played fine at that time. You're telling me there's an actual issue here, huh?
Yeah, it like I said, at least five times where it has crashed. I'm not saying like
we know some people in the support realm. We may need to put in a ticket. What's going on?
I'm not saying like it's like crash like Cyberpunk where it's debilitating and you can't play it.
It's just it's playing righteous, and then at some point it just dies on you.
Yes.
And 2K23 does that to me.
Yeah,
shuts the whole system off.
I've heard dealers say that like multiple times. Like he loves that game, and it shuts the system off on him multiple times.
It shut the system right off.
Lucius Augustus is corroborating what I'm talking about.
But everybody didn't get that problem. I didn't get that problem. But every Xbox is different and handle things differently. It's not some bugs hit everybody and some bugs hit some people.
Yeah,
I haven't had that happen, but I don't got 20 hours in the game either. So
that's the thing. By the way, Slow-Mo, the difference is on PC and console, all I got to do is restart the system. You got to reinstall drivers.
Come on now, Everborn. To be fair,
if his RAM is installed properly.
To be fair, To be fair, on what platform have they resolved the pop-in issues by Sonic Frontiers? Only
you that's what we're going.
Saying.
Okay,
like you can like if there are issues on PC, the community can step in.
Listen, Arkham Asylum just started working on PC like last week.
So wait a minute.
You want to go there? Like,
hold on. Are we saying that we have to have charity drives to fix games?
Hey man. I mean, Bethesda has been
people doing pro bono work on
Bethesda
PC.
has been like leaning on that for basically most of their career, right? The game comes out, the community fixes it, and then they incorporate it into it.
Rodimus said the executables is not executing.
Shout out to you, sir.
Anyway, back to the game that I was actually playing. Don't come in here with your PC nonsense, Slow-Mo.
Thank you, Lucius. Thank you for the backup, man. These dudes be forgetting that PC games be broke from day one.
Oh, damn. All right.
Because at the end of the day, Gotham Knights is worse on PC.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Who's fixing?
But Gotham Knights, I've been able to fix it on PC. I've been able to fix it on PC. It just takes some doing.
Yeah. Know. Anyway,
Gotham Knights is broken in general. But continue, sir. Go ahead.
Y'all hear the cap in the chat? Yo, chat. Y'all hear the cap?
I see it. Plague's Tale. It is Asobo storytelling. Is I'm not saying it's like Last of Us, right? Because that's like,
hey man, they got credit. They got props from Druckmann on their storytelling this time.
No. Like they are like up there with the best in the biz in terms of storytelling. Like it is really good. Like, and they did, like I said, fix some of the combat issues. I do feel a lot more in control because that was
you have
my
a lot
problem.
more dynamic, more agency to be able to do what you want to do.
Right, and it doesn't feel like, again, where you do get locked into animations, but there's way more control and there's ways for you to counter things. So they did fix that, and now I got the dude with me who is like, I don't know if the guy that I'm with at the end of the game is the same knight that had been chasing me the whole time. The story makes a weird jump, and there's this dude that joins you, and I have no idea where he came from, and it seems like it's weird. I don't want to spoil the stuff for people, but he's a straight melee attacker, the guy that joins your team. So you can say, "Yo, go fight that dude," and then you can use your sling or your, what do you call it, or your
crossbow.
Your crossbow, yeah. You can use your sling or your crossbow or any of your alchemy stuff to kind of slow the people down so that he can go in for the killing blow. And I think that works really well when you have that team there. So it does mitigate the fact that you can't do as much melee as you like. But I like, the story is so interesting for where it's going, and like the world like really feels like I'm watching some Game of Thrones type thing, and you're just close to them.
So I was about to ask you a question that will make no sense to you, and you'll understand why in a minute. Like, we clearly, the first one, right? A Plague Tale, the first one, to me was Uncharted 1, right? My question would have been, is, in your opinion, A Plague Tale Requiem Uncharted 1 to 2, but you've not.
I can't answer that question.
which is frustrating.
I don't have the facilities for that, bro.
It's frustrating, but so I guess the point I'm trying to make is, clearly they had a spark, right, with this franchise. They started something. They had a very small budget, but they made it work. It looks like they've been allowed, they're spending that flight sim money. They've been allowed to broaden the base a little bit, give you a bit more complexity. They've broadened the story out as well as the combat, but still it looks like it's AA+. Am I wrong?
I feel like it's
right
weird
on the cusp of AAA.
So it's a weird place, right? It's not your traditional, like, okay, AA versus AAA in terms of what it looks like in terms of production.
I'm just talking about its complexity, whether it be play, because you can tell from the first one to the second one, they took the base of what they had and they added more to it. But my question is, do you think they added enough to really blow this out and turn this into like monster franchise? Everyone's here for it. Games, console selling thing. I feel like they could go a bit further. Do you disagree?
No, but I mean, in terms of set pieces, it's AAA, right? It is up there with any one of your AAA set pieces that even Sony would do, right?
Okay.
Combat wise, and in certain cases, animation wise, they reuse a lot of animations. So it's in terms of the motion capture and things like that, and especially in the facial animations, it's not up there with the best of the best, but storytelling, set pieces, all of that are like
top tier,
next level. So it's hard to not put it in the AAA budget because they have those things, but then it does lose points. Not lose points as a game, because like right now I'm not finished it, but if I was to rate this game, I would give it like an 8.5, right?
Okay.
But
that's a decent score.
But you can still see. You can see the seams on it, and it's not to its detriment. It's just when you have it's not like it makes the game any worse, but you can tell you're not going to put this in the same category as a Horizon or a God of War or anything like that. And that's not a knock on it. It just like the combat is not as complex. The stealth is not as complex, right? So again, it seems like they achieved everything they were going for, and it's punching way above its weight. So like I still like highly recommend the game, and I cannot wait until they turn this into a series. Like this like oozes like this story that they're trying to tell is so good. It is so engaging, and like the dialogue is up there as if like TV and Hollywood writers wrote it. It's not like the basic dialogue that you get in a lot of games where it's like where it's like you kind of allow it because it's a game. Voice acting super good.
So what I will say to button this up and we will move forward is, first and foremost, we did our poll. I'm ending our poll. 64% to 36% people played God of War instead of Frontiers, but that's expected from our audience. That's neither here nor there. But I guess the to sum up what you're saying, what that's telling me is you need to play Uncharted 2.
Well, I mean, God of War doesn't have stealth, Iron Mike, so I wasn't like. I was just saying in terms of the stealth. It's not like some of the
because it sounds like you're at a place where you're seeing them reach the height of their powers, and I feel like this is treading that uncharted ground a little bit. It sounds that way. Like Uncharted. Like it is the poster child for why PlayStation is where they are with it, because it really like they saw that spark and they broadened it out perfectly. It sounds like this is similarly really heading in that direction. And on that note, somebody's going to scoop up Asobo, and it's going to be very interesting because that studio is really doing interesting things.
And then Sony is going to cause this ABK deal to get delayed, and then then somebody else is going to buy Asobo.
And then once again, y'all going to still be pining for Sega, but that's neither here nor there.
What I would love, like for Asobo, like just real talk, and this is why, like, I really hope like after this whole Activision business is done, Microsoft can do more focused acquisitions, because I'm talking about acquisitions that fill gaps in their portfolio. I was really like upset that they missed Crystal Dynamics and Eidos, because like in their portfolio of the studios that they have, a lot of it is geared. It's a lot of diversity, but not a lot in the way of the third person kind of act. And I'm not saying everything needs to be like that, like some other companies. But we do want some of that. We need that
just a little bit. Yeah, we need a little bit of that. That's right.
And so Crystal Dynamics and Eidos would have filled that. Asobo would fill that. And I would love to see a Plague Tale 3. I don't know how it ends, if this is the end of the story. But if the story leads to a Plague Tale 3, I would love to see Asobo get the Hellblade treatment, right? I would love to see them, work with the Coalition and work with and use Ninja Theory's motion capture studios and do all of that, have all those resources available to them so that they can like take what they're doing now to the next level. And that's what you want to see when you see an acquisition. And that in those cases, acquisitions and consolidation are good, right? When you have good studios that just need resources, and then those good studios can become great studios. Yeah, absolutely. So I would love to see Asobo,
basically the Ninja Theory story.
Yes, I would love to see Asobo get the Ninja Theory treatment.
Exactly, the Ninja Theory treatment, the Insomniac treatment. Give you what you need to take it to the next level. That's all we want to see, and that's where consolidation is not necessarily a dirty word at that point. You know what I'm saying?
But it's never a dirty word when you want your 401ks and your dental plans paid for.
Well, yeah, I mean, not a dirty word
either
for the gaming community.
Your medical plan goes up. You know what I'm saying? Your co-pays go down.
That's right. People are clowning. They don't know the dollars and cents of it. But yeah,
what's so hilarious about that to me? Like the workers want the deal so much so that the CEO has to come out and notify the workers saying, I know you really
calm down. Everything's good. You're still going to get it.
That's how bad the workers want it.
Or did y'all get a chance to listen to the email?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's how bad the workers actually want it. The unions who's there for the workers are lobbying for this thing. And because people don't want to lose an argument on Twitter, because they need to feel like their favorite company is still number one
beyond the nickel and dime, beyond the console war crap. Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, we listening to people who can't do their own taxes or don't own anything.
Oh boy.
Okay.
No, let me rail us back in. Hold on. Let me rail us back in.
Oh boy.
Think about that.
Let me rail. No, because
that person on Twitter don't know what they talk about.
That's gonna get us someplace else. So let me rail us back in real quick.
I'm here for
Mr. Slomo is asking me how I recorded the footage and it's misconfigured. This is straight off of PS5, good sir. They've done an update. Back in the day, you used to be able to basically record the footage that you've already played. So at any moment in time, PlayStation is kind of monitoring or recording your footage, and then you can say, "Hey, save that last hour of footage." Now, when I went in to go record this, it doesn't do that anymore. It does like what Xbox does, which is hit the record button before the game starts, which, in my humble opinion, is a sad thing. That they had it better before. But now it's also inherited what used to be wrong on Xbox's side, which is like it keeps HDR or doesn't know how to correctly remove it because it should not be showing this way. And clearly it is showing this way. There's no way to change it. It just is what it is. But I had to show it in its full light. We'll talk about whether this game is good or not at another time. This is just the demo of it. But let us move forward. Before we do,
I highly recommend the game. It is one of the best stories that I've experienced in a good while, whether I'm talking about TV or not. And I think it's, if you're into that kind of medieval stuff, if you're into the Game of Thrones and that kind of thing. I know it's not fantasy. It's more like historical drama, but like, I mean, guess what, the rats that makes it fantasy, but you know what I'm saying. It's just very good storytelling, and I do feel like they've increased in a lot of ways, and I can't wait to see what Asobo does next. So highly recommend from Everborn recommendations.
Let us switch up and head to some news stories. Let's talk about what we saw at the Game Awards. Before we do, though, I will once again thank all the wonderful people that have joined us. Our chat is even more lively than it was in the beginning. We have about 70 plus people watching. Thank you so much for checking us out. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Consider subscribing if you have not done so either. Let folks know we here. Let them know we're about to start talking about the Game Awards. And man, it's going to get nice and interesting. Let's move forward, sir, ladies and gentlemen. I will start with you, 108 Dragon. I know you watched the Game Awards, or at least the trailers of the Game Awards. You know what? Let me start there, actually. Let me start there, because that is part of this story here. What are you? Are you a Game Awards aficionado, meaning I'm here for the awards, I'm here for all of it?
Or are you just try to explain what aficionado means to me? Yes, I know what that means.
Or are you one of those who just like me who wants the supercut? So you're the supercut person. I want a supercut where you cut out all of the awards.
That's how I watch the Super Bowl. I don't care about football. I just watch the commercials.
I'm gonna give out a secret, right? I stream this live. My man Cozy, my man Italian Clowns, my man Flamish.
Yeah, shout out to them. Members of the community.
You see, I didn't have on cameras that day because I like to give people like the presentation of the awards. Shout out to Jeff for letting people co-stream and all that other stuff, right?
Yep.
I fell asleep while I was live.
And lucky for you, the cam was off.
Facts. It was terrible. Like,
no.
It was the best part about it is when they got stage bombed. I mean, that was comical. I mean, but technically,
Lucius Augustus putting it out there.
Tekken 8 was awesome for me, right? Tekken 8 was awesome. A couple of trailers was good, but this was one of the least memorable Game Awards I've ever been streamed, that I've been watching. It was not exciting for me. People got mad at Microsoft for not showing up, but that's not their show. They don't have to. This is the anticipation and what people want from Microsoft.
We'll get into that. That part is definitely part of the conversation as well. We'll definitely get in there. I hear you, but keep going. Yes, keep going.
I see that great game in the background. I see that available now.
You know what's going down. You know what's going down. Let's take a quick pause. I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate what's on the screen. But it's like, it was too long. They said they cut back on time. I thought it was going to be long.
Yeah, wasn't it like 3.5 hours still?
Shout out to my boy Flammers who said, Lemon is not talking. What happened? I was asleep. Right? And he ended up hosting my own show on my channel. So it was good for that part because he held me down. He's like, Lemon, what you was doing? I was like, did we live? So I was like, oh, I was cooking. I had to run around. And, no, I was asleep.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I got to run to the door real quick.
For about 45 minutes, I was unconscious. And I woke up and it was over. I was like, oh. So I rewatched it. And it still just was as boring. And I think, let me say this for the record from things that I know for a fact. Gamers, this is not about us. That show has nothing to do with gamers. This is from industry people that I've spoken to many times. That show is for them industry people to give each other flowers and show the appreciation for their work. We don't matter when it comes to the Game Awards. This is why you don't put stake into their opinions on what is a game of the year. Because of the game of the year, out of your purchases this year, your hard-earned money, it matters what you think is your game of the year. I love God of War over Elden Ring. I like Elden Ring. I don't love it. But I also got I don't know how many years of history with God of War. So I'm biased. So God of War is my game of the year if you want to, or Call of Duty. I think it should have been game of the year in contentions, but they didn't even put it there. But if you want to talk about impact, they said, oh, Elden Ring made an impact. Who sold more and made more money than Call of Duty this whole year? There's no game. So what possibly could beat Call of Duty?
See, but to be fair, though, if that's the metric, then every year would be Call of Duty's year. Every single year.
Not last year. They lost
true.
40% sales.
You're right. Not
every year.
It has fallen off some.
But this
still,
year, Call of Duty's back.
The point, though, is, and you're right, that it sells and it is very much a player's game. But the point, though, is I don't think that the metric should be sales because sales
not sales.
Skew,
I'm talking about the Call of Duty. Forget the sales, right? We know they made 800 million in 3 days.
Yeah.
Forget that. Call of Duty has made a return to what we love. And it's the campaign crazy, multiplayer crazy. Yeah, it was buggy, but every game comes out as buggy.
Comes
today.
out that these days, absolutely.
Right. So I don't want to hear that part. You know what I'm saying? Because Elden Ring was dropping to 20 frames, but people said, "Oh no, that's okay."
Yeah, true. In the beginning,
that's okay because we like it, right?
Yep.
Because
a lot of people gave that game a lot of leeway,
right?
A lot of leeway
trash.
because of what they loved about it,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is why I say our gaming community, we have to be better, right? You can't knock one game, say, "Oh, this is garbage. This should never happen." Hey, and then when something come out you like, "Oh, I'll give it a pass." Like Sonic's popping. I'm not giving you a pass. I grew up on it. There's no way something's right here and pops up. Yeah, jump on me now. What? Where did that come from? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and the thing about Sonic's the problem though, that thing is such an easy fix. They could have quietly just like updated it real quick.
SSDs don't matter.
Yeah, right. They could have easily
12
like updated
teraflops didn't matter,
right?
But they just all this power didn't matter. We got pop up like Sega Rally on the Dreamcast. Remember? Dropping from 30 to 60 to 30 frames? Nobody talks about that.
Absolutely.
But they love it, right?
That one is just
acceptable.
Like, and I hate to say it this way because that always brings up connotations that I don't appreciate, but that's a bit of laziness. They could have gone in when they heard it was a thing and just switch the DLL, the value to higher.
The Switch version on both PS5.
Honestly, you go into a DLL file and you can switch a value from like 2 to like 8 and it pushes it out.
Yes.
And then you can see it in the distance.
That's PC life. I see you be working on that PC life. I see you.
And they can do the same thing on the consoles. They'll just have to do it for you and push it out versus you doing it yourself. That's the only difference. It's a 5-minute thing and then you're done. But for some reason, nobody's doing it.
And let me sidetrack real quick. Let me shout out to you, Mr. Keasanti. You know, I'm a very big fan of you and my boy Everborn. But y'all got my dude Scrub Nurse in the chat. And he's a goddamn mod.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny how this community brings good people together, because that's my guy right there, man. That's my Call of Duty. Yo, listen, he'll be on my show later on tonight. So we're not playing Call of Duty, so y'all can stop by, because we won't be jumping you in some hallway. So it's safe. But
shout out to Scrub Nurse.
You, Scrub, man.
He's been on the show, friend of the show. Love Scrub Nurse. Great dude. We need to have him back on the show, actually. It's been a minute.
Awesome.
I'm happy to see you here. Of course, anybody that comes and joins our community, you've been on the show, I will make you a mod. Of course. I will definitely make you a mod, because you know we're all here trying to do what we do, you know, and trying to keep these streets clean. So I appreciate those who want to
get ready for them Keasanti and Lemon pictures from E3 next year.
Oh, it's gonna be fire, bro! I can't wait.
We outside. Me and my Iron Lord brothers. We outside.
We're gonna do it real big. We're gonna do it real big, no doubt. No, for sure. I'm excited for it. I can't
excited
wait
for you.
We could do it.
It's your first one, right?
This will be my first one. I've been to Comic-Con, but I have not been to E3. So it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be
electrifying environment. Best part about it is after you do all that work with the content, with the developers, to hang out after.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be crazy. Fact. So let me ask you something related to this. And I know you were like, they didn't pull up, and I agree with you. Like the offerings they showed were subjective, right? If you are really down with something that's available that they showed, you would love this show. But if you weren't down with it, right, then you were kind of bored real quick, right?
Yeah.
So like, what did anything move the needle for you here? Like, for me,
Tekken 8 Street Fighter, Tekken 8 Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
The demo announcement of Forspoken, because it's getting so much flack from the Twitterverse. I said I have to try this game.
Yeah.
I don't look at games and trailers and criticize. Like,
you have to play it for yourself.
If you don't like 30 frames, okay, but Gotham Knights was fun as hell. I don't care if you like the 30 frames or not. Yeah. Like, if you want to be, you can't be. Stop listening to Digital Foundry. Stop saying, yo, it dropped 1 frame right here. Yeah. Oh my God. And they zoom in 500%. That's not even realistic, people.
Yeah, and shout out to Digital Foundry. I love their work, but their work is like a tool to be used for those who use them. People just overuse them, in my humble opinion, right?
And a lot of people don't understand what they talk about anyway.
Exactly. Like to the Digital Foundry point,
you're not hardcore.
The number one thing that bothers me about Digital Foundry, and I love their work. Let's be absolutely clear. I think they are an industry standard. I think that they deserve all the flowers they get, right?
Only for console, though.
Sure.
People on PC be
the problem that I have with sometimes with some of the coverage they do is they'll put like a PS5, Series X, and a Series S, and they'll compare them, right? In a 4K feed, right? You would never do that with a Nintendo Switch, right?
No.
Because the Nintendo Switch won't even hit 1080p, let alone 4K.
Right.
But you will easily compare a Series S and an X and a PS5, even though you know the Series S has been billed as the 1080p/1440p console.
Facts.
But you're okay with comparing it to 4K output all the time, which tells me it's like a bet. You're selling it. It'll always look bad, right? I personally think that a Series S should have its own
category
1080p stream.
Right.
Because it's a 1080p box. But you always keep comparing it to 4K and it looks bad and go, see, it looks bad. Duh. Of course it looks bad.
Right.
It's a 1440p 1080p box.
When they comparing, on Xbox, it dropped 2 frames and it's solid 60 frames on PlayStation 5. They never really say the Xbox is running 4K though.
Yeah,
the PlayStation is running 1800p.
A lot of times
it's running things at a higher fidelity.
Yes,
they don't emphasize that. Once in a while they'll say it, but people forget. But you know, when people don't understand what they're doing, because you know everybody trying to get they're trying to get people to their channel, right?
Sure.
So if you say if you do the controversial thing, you'll get more people there. But they never say, okay, the PlayStation is flawless at 1826p, right?
Yeah.
They don't do that. Yeah. They just tell you, oh, it has a more steady frame rate, but it dropped 2 frames. First of all, you can't see 2 frames drop unless you can screen stuff.
Unless you have an actual tools to see it.
All the tools, right?
Digital Foundry.
Yes. So you don't really get you don't really get what they're saying. but they never say, well, the Xbox is running all of these special effects at a higher resolution.
Yeah, sometimes there's context that gets missing. I do agree with you. But let's be clear here. Let's be absolutely a buck, because we are a slanderous show. We love the slander. There will be no slander of Digital Foundry on this show, because I am a huge fan. I'm
a fan too, but I know what they're talking about.
I think what they do is a service, but the problem is folks use it wrong sometimes.
They don't know how to use it. Well, dude told me, yo, Lemon, I bought a TV with VRR, and I wanted to test which one had better VRR, PlayStation, Xbox. I saw the difference between the two. I said, you can't see VRR.
Yeah.
That's because they take what Digital Foundry saying,
if you see
and they don't know what they're talking about.
This is my problem.
Digital Foundry is creating monsters out here.
But this is my thing. Like Digital Foundry gets a lot of the slack, but the people actually doing the harm are the people that are weaponizing this.
That are weaponizing.
Oh yes,
it's just a tool to be used.
Yes,
right, absolutely.
Right? So you know, I know that like people get mad that they highlight certain things versus other things, but really and truly, like, the reason people are mad about that is because other like clowns will go and use this as some sort of victory lap, and I'm like, yo, you didn't make the game. This is not something that you can brag about. Like, it's not your team winning here. Calm down. Right. Like if you're on the dev team and you was able to tout that you got like 5 more frames a second, you know what I'm saying? On average, like, but okay, stop it. So let us once again rein it back in. No more slander of Digital Foundry.
No, it's not slander. He's talking about what the community does by lack of knowledge. Like dudes like, I know what ambient occlusion is. In spaces, I'll be like, oh yeah, so tell me.
Give us some details. Yeah,
right.
That stops the conversation.
Like tell me TAA, right? Or tell me the difference, please. Explain. Then they get quiet.
Elaborate.
Right. Elaborate.
Please explain.
It's like, why did you think NVIDIA made the GeForce experience, right? Because back in the days when you had a powerful PC or a graphic card, period, you had to go in there and set all of these features to equal your hardware.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Today, the GeForce experience analyze your system and do it for you.
Yep.
Because all you gotta do is even on optimize. PC, they don't know what they're doing.
That's right. You hit optimize and it turns into a console experience, basically.
Facts. So Digital Foundry, I'm not mad at what they do, right? It's the weaponizing, like y'all said. It's the weaponizing. Like, stop talking about stuff you don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, you know what the real problem is?
I see right through you.
But the real problem here, and it's not just Digital Foundry, because there's people that get mad at like Hogue Law. There's people that get mad at other things, and it's like, don't be mad. Like, people get mad at the purveyors of the news because they don't like the news.
Facts.
Right? Don't be mad at the facts. Right? Like,
don't shoot the messenger. Do not do that.
So these
they always do it.
So because you don't like what they're saying, you want to demonize. This is the whole argument when certain people brought up the concept of fake news.
Hold on. 1 second. Thing we're talking about. 1 second. Either Joshua is far behind on the conversation, or he just felt the need to just drop this knowledge on us. He just had to say Uncharted is trash. Thank you, sir.
Joshua, I'd like to invite you to the show.
He just showed up just like, Uncharted is trash. Thank you, sir.
Joshua's my sock account. No.
You know?
Wow. No, but seriously, like, I think this is a big problem that kind of ruins a lot of the discourse on these things, right? Yes. Like, we have to, it is, you're gonna spiral downward, and it becomes this, and I know this word is overused, but it comes this like real sad echo chamber when we just say, well, I don't like the news, so the news reporter must be a fraud, or they must have an agenda, right? It's not the news reporter's fault that you too stupid to understand what they're talking about, right?
Wow.
I didn't want to do that.
I'll do it.
I would have did that on my channel. I didn't want to do that here, but that's a fact. That's what, stupid is the word. I'm sorry.
And this is the thing.
So we're gonna have a parental guidance suggested on this episode. So
I encourage.
Hey, listen, go ahead. Kids say stupid all day.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
kids act stupid all day. I hear you. Go ahead.
And I wanna. If you remember 40-Year-Old Virgin, right?
Yeah.
This is where we saw. Some people saw Kevin Hart for the first time. I saw Kevin Hart for the first time in Paper Soldiers. I think. Yep. Was that Paper Soldiers the joint he did when Rockefeller was doing the movie stuff, Dame Dash? Anyway, the movie he did with Beanie Siegel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
yes.
That's where I first saw Kevin Hart. But I don't think that was Paper Soldiers. Well, I'm getting sidetracked. My point is, Kevin Hart was in that movie, and they did this scene where Kevin Hart was like, "You using a lot of big words, and I don't know what they mean, so I'm gonna take that as disrespect."
Right.
And that is the entire Twitter experience.
That's the entire premise of Twitter. Absolutely.
So this is the thing. Don't be mad at Digital Foundry or Hogue Law or anybody who's just, and again, so they might have their perspectives or whatever, but for the most part, they're giving you the information. Be mad at the people who's weaponizing that. And that's
weaponizing it. Absolutely. No, I hear you. Mr. Everborn Saga, while you're speaking, tell me, and I know you watched most of this as well. Off the top, what was your number one game you took away from this whole thing, this Game Awards?
What Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Okay.
Hold on. I gotta say something. Because you said something on Twitter, bro. I'm a Warhammer fan, right? I play Inquisition. I just download. You wasn't talking about what we got on Game Pass on PC, right?
No.
That's the one I wanted. The co-op play, the 4-player one. It didn't come out on console. It got pushed back. But
it's on PC
Game Pass on PC. Yeah.
That's what I just downloaded it this morning.
And he was like, "Nah, Lemon, this is third person." I was like, "Well, they got 200 games of this damn title."
I don't even know what Warhammer is.
This is literally this.
Look at
specific one that we're talking about
right now. Back that up for a second.
This specific one that we're talking about is literally from is the continuation. If I'm not mistaken, it's the continuation of the almost Gears of War-esque.
No. Right. I've seen that too, but I thought he was talking about the one that just dropped.
No.
The one that got pushed back on console literally is out on PC right now on Game Pass.
Yes, it is. Yep, I just downloaded that.
And I'm looking forward to that one too, actually. But this,
and he was like, "Nah, Lemon, not that one." I was like, "Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't know which one because I play Dragon. I play Warhammer Inquisition." Right, been on Xbox forever. Just recently got a 4K update for the Xbox. Awesome game. But I love the whole series. Now this is another title I'm going to be buying.
This is the continuation to Space Marines, which was originally on PS3
360.
On 360, right? Yeah. Shout out to Pixel.
Right.
This is the second one to that one, and the original one, the 360 version. I was actually telling Everborn Saga right now, it's like peanuts on the dollar. Buy that, play it on the Steam Deck. The original 360 version plays great on Steam Deck right now, and it'll kind of get you ready for part.
I might buy a Steam Deck. I might get it.
It's a great little device. You got to, bro.
You don't have it, buddy.
It's very surprising.
I don't play portably. My Switch don't leave my house.
Yeah, true. See,
that's the only reason I ain't buy it.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't
think about for emulation.
That's what I was about to say. You can't compare the Switch to the Steam Deck because
no,
is for other things.
I'm just talking. Right. That's what I told my man, Dr. Mindbetter. Shout out to him. I said, listen, I want the Steam Deck because I want to do emulation.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna leave the house. I took the Switch out the whole time I earned from 2017. It left my house one time.
Bro, the reason why I play Steam Deck at home is because that's the best way to play Switch games, even at home. Not on the Switch.
You said that live?
I'm sorry. It's the best way to play Switch games. I'm done. I am done. I gave the Abacus. I gave the Abacus known as the Switch to my children, and I'm not taking it back.
Steam Deck is awesome.
Whenever a new game shows up, I buy it on the eShop. Take out my SD card, plug it into the Steam Deck, begin the process.
And I'm gonna tell you another reason I didn't jump. I don't like double dipping. You understand?
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not buying Call of Duty twice.
Okay.
You know, I'm not with that. Like I'm
see,
like,
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. The reason why
the game.
The reason why that might not be a problem for you on Steam Deck necessarily is because a lot of those games now that are Xbox games are also PC versions coming on PC as well. So it's like it's not turnkey. You know, you have to install a PC version, the Windows on it. It's not the hardest thing in the world. I have an SD card, got Windows on it, you plug it in. It's a Windows machine. But after you have that, then you can take your PC version. Like you wanted to play 40 Warhammer, the version that just came out on PC. I can load that on the PC side of Steam Deck, and then I got that. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have this conversation once more because Dragons is here. This is something I tried to ask you the other day. A while back. We was in a space, but you know the drama started, so I didn't get to ask the actual gaming question.
Go ahead.
In these so-called gaming spaces.
Yeah, so-called is the word. Title exactly. Say PlayStation versus Xbox. Who had the better show? They'd be arguing about who don't like each other.
No. Exactly. Right? I came there for the title. I didn't come here for the title. Fighting each other.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like
they'd be like, Lemon, why you didn't talk? I ain't getting involved with that.
Yeah,
like I'm coming here to talk about conversation. What was
Absolutely.
The title?
Yeah, like I'm like, yo, if we was in there, y'all was actually arguing Xbox versus PlayStation, I'm here for it.
Right.
But you talking about fighting each other, and who said what?
I'm gonna pull up at your house.
Stop.
Anyway,
I'm out. Now go back there.
Look. Okay, they'd be like, we want to hear what 108 got to say.
I've been on those spaces too. Oh yeah,
I never go up there. They'd be like, right. You're not gonna say nothing.
Hey, what's the point? I'm here.
I'm not even gonna accept the speaker invite. I don't want to hear it. Nope, I'm grown. I don't do that.
So what were you saying?
The question that I had tried to ask you a while back is when the Steam, like, should Microsoft should Phil Spencer maybe team up with Panos, right? And make a Surface from the Surface team Windows-based Steam Deck device that plays PC games. Tell me why not.
Preach on it, brother. Go ahead. Tell them why.
I'm gonna tell you why not. Because they're partnered with all these other people who's investing their own money. They don't have to.
Yep.
Now we got devices of choice.
Yeah,
Cloud, the new Razer thing coming out, Steam Deck. Listen,
and they get to partner with all of them and get to benefit from the marketing for all of them.
Just put Game Pass on it. We good.
But here's the thing. Well, one, I would like a Windows native version of the Steam Deck.
There is a Windows version. It's $1,100. AO Neo 2.
Good luck. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Only Microsoft could subsidize
or
it and make it themselves.
Or you can seriously just install Windows on an SD card.
That's too much. I don't want to think about all that.
But it don't work the same. And I'm gonna tell you why. You got to put another program on there for the Windows to recognize the Steam Deck's controller scheme.
Oh, now he's getting technical on me.
No. See, I don't own a Steam Deck, but what I do is I read a lot. I do a lot of homework before I make a purchase. And when I read that, I said,
I've done that. Yes.
I don't want to play xCloud through a browser. That's not for me. I want a dedicated app. They don't have that.
That's why I installed it on Windows. Because when you install Windows on it, then you can actually have a dedicated. You can basically have what
you're an enthusiast, right? You can't even speak that language to a casual. Exactly. They're gonna look at you like, what?
True.
They're gonna say, I'm gonna get a G Cloud. It's easy.
Yes, right? Absolutely.
So this is the point I'm coming to though, right? Like you have to do all of those extra things, in terms of either emulating the game through Proton, or you got to go in and dual boot the OS. Wouldn't it be better and to have like the same reason that they make the Surface, right? They have all the partners in the world that make Windows devices, but only they could make the best Windows device, right?
Sure, but then they had to price it so high to keep. Yeah, you want them to make a reference device so that others can make Windows based.
Exactly. Others can make them, but I think they should make one for themselves, one that they can subsidize so it is not like $1,100 like that other joint. And it can play. So
but that's the problem though, Everborn. That's the problem. Like exactly what Lemon was saying. The reason why they can't do that is because much like in the other places they play, they then have to price it out of the mainstream to support their partners. Because if they don't price it out of the mainstream, then all of a sudden you're competing directly with those partners and they won't support your thing. So even if they make a reference design, which I agree with you, they should, they'll have to price it like kind of at that $1,000 limit so that the other partners can be cheaper and get it. It's the same thing they do with HP and all the others,
but conversely, right? If you actually grow that market, right? And you standardize that thing where like a SKU of Windows is like the gaming SKU, right? For a mobile device. You will grow the pie so that people can sell those things in higher volume, which will allow them to lower
which is what
price.
Steam Deck is doing now.
Right. So I still think it's viable to do, and I think they should. I think they should do it because I think it Steam Deck is fantastic, but it's still running Linux. I wish, or if the very least, can they work something out so that Valve will also have a Windows-based version?
See, that world is possible. With Microsoft support, that world is possible. The problem is the licensing agreement, for Windows itself. Because at the heart of it, Mac OS has been able to separate their license agreement completely. So now you just get in perpetuity the next version for free, and that's it. But still, at the heart of it, you can still buy Windows somewhere. Right. So when Valve starts offering a Windows version of their operating system that you just install and then boom, you got Steam Deck Windows version, they'll have to charge you because there's a license assigned to Windows. That's the only thing stopping it from
I'll be willing to pay that if I can get
me too.
My Windows experience.
Me too. Absolutely.
Because I don't like their software. It's basically a watered down Windows, and you have to do everything for yourself.
Sure, that's
Linux, also looked at how to install. Right, I also looked at how to install Game Pass on it, and I said the average person ain't doing this.
No, it is possible. I haven't.
It's possible, of course.
There's an app,
but you gotta have the know-how.
Install, but you have to know how to do it. That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I've done that on the Steam Deck, and that's actually most of what I use it for to do that. The Game Pass.
Well, you use the browser-based one, right, Everborn?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another thing now, which is an actual app made by a developer called Greenlight that will give you access to not only the Steam Deck, the browser-based cloud stuff. It also gives you access to remote play for your console. So, in other words, before this, the G Cloud used to claim that it was the only one that could actually connect you to the console. Yeah, with this app now, Steam Deck.
No, but technically it still is because somebody had to do it. You can't. That's like
somebody had to build it.
True. Right. It's like saying when mods fix a game, it could be done. No, the mods did it.
The mods did it. Yes. There's no official solution yet.
Right. There's no official solution.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And another thing, I see people in the chat talking about that Aya Neo. See, the thing about
it's expensive.
But it's not just that it's expensive, right? There's something to having a the main company make the thing, because the thing about why the MacBooks, even though they're dropping the bucket in terms of PC, but the reason people love those and the casuals use that is because you can just take your MacBook to an Apple store and they'll fix it, right? It's that support situation. And when you have these smaller companies, they don't have the infrastructure to do the kind of support when something goes wrong.
I hear you on that.
And you have a point. The AO Neo 2 is a better device than the Steam Deck. It blows it out of the water.
The reason why that is
price, and
the reason why it is a better device is because what people keep failing to recognize is Steam Deck and Valve didn't create this market. Aya Neo has been in this market for a long time now.
Thank you.
It's just been underground because nobody's buying a $1,200 handheld device, right?
No,
it's Steam and Valve that have brought this to people's attention, and Aya has been sitting here going, "We've been churning butter for a while now. Welcome."
Right.
That's why they're so much better than the Steam Deck, right? But I hear you on what you're saying, Everborn, and you're absolutely right. But we should not discount Aya Neo because they are the mature player in this space. They may not be known like Valve, but if we actually want to talk about it, Aya is more trusted in this space than Valve is because they've been making many handsets for years.
And that's not a shot at Steam Deck, right?
No, it's not a shot at Steam Deck.
It's
not
just
at
that
all.
they have longevity. And that AO Neo 2, I was like, yo, let me look into this. And then I saw it started at $800. I said,
It is a full PC, like it's for real, right? PC. And that helps you understand what it took Valve to get that thing to $400 because Valve's is also a full PC. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
So they
full editing, software, everything. If you want,
that's right. What Valve actually has done here is Valve has done Aya, Neo, and all the others a big favor by bringing the attention into the space, and now there's aggressive, competition, and we're going to start seeing Aya, Neo, and the rest of them also dropping prices to compete because there's competition in this space now.
Well, I hope so.
It's exciting, it's exciting. I expect the next ones to be
cost
cheaper.
more money, but the hardware is more advanced too.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? They have more stronger chips, have less battery life though.
True. They give you more control in that, right? And that's another thing of your enthusiasts,
the 28s, right? The 30s, the 20s.
We were talking about the GOAT game that is Vampire Survivor. Another reason why I play that so much, you can set your own TDP. You can set your own TDP on Steam Deck, and then you're playing that game for like 7 hours on Steam Deck. A device that normally on average you get 2.5 to 3 hours battery depending on what game you play, because Vampire Survivor doesn't have that much of an uplift. You can set your threshold really low and it sips battery for like almost 8 hours. Right. These are the things you get to do.
So let me rein us back in.
Let's rein it.
Apologize for taking us back. How do we feel about Idris Elba in Cyberpunk?
I was about to say this. Look, this was my highlight of my show. It was Vampire Survivor is on my phone now, yay. And B, not only and of course, unfortunately, Cyberpunk came and didn't do what we wanted to do from jump.
No.
But the news that Idris is in here is exciting to me.
Hold on. We are not going to diminish 13 million in the first 3 weeks of this game. We're not going to act like this game didn't
You are
sell.
Among Cyberpunk friends, brother. I love this game.
More than your favorite game.
Yo, listen. I can't wait for the Witcher update next week. Listen.
Yep, me too.
I rocks with this company, right?
Me too. I love them.
But once again, for them trying to give last gen some love, they got disrespected. Because on my Series X, I didn't have half of the problems that was reported. But you got to realize, last gen outnumbered us like 30-1.
Exactly.
So they had the biggest voice.
Yep.
Listen, when I saw this game, shout out to my man Megatron, man. We both ordered the collector's edition. I don't buy regular stuff. Okay? I don't buy regular stuff. Not when I love a franchise or I love a company. So let me say that. But I am going to say this. He pre-ordered the same edition I did. All these buttons and all this stuff, the extra content, right? He said, Lemon, I'm not buying this game. It's broken. I said, it's not broken on Series X, bro.
No.
He said, Lemon. I said, no, that's last gen people talking because it's like 15 to 18 frames. I bought my brother the game. He played it. He went to Best Buy and bought the version I bought. He still picked it up. That's how good of a graphical leap it was over last gen, right? It got a lot of unnecessary flack from the Twitterverse. People that don't know about it.
See, to be fair, and you said this before in this show, to be fair, sometimes you get issues that are plaguing others more than are plaguing you, right? Some consoles will be smooth as butter, others will just be ridiculous from day one. And I think a lot of that played into this. There were
18 frames per second. Okay.
T-poses, weird, like cars just jumping out of nowhere. There was some craziness.
Yeah, I get that in Call of Duty. I shot somebody the other day and he bounced to the sky.
I get that. There was a lot of that. But I gotta say, this news excites me like no other.
Yes.
Like, I love this. This is just so good. I'm excited for it. I am excited for this news. I'm a stan. Forgive me. I love Idris Elba. Yes, he is a countryman. He is from where I am from. So yes, I will support the man. And he's a great actor. I support
him because he did some hood stuff to start his career.
There you go. And his British accent was so I
didn't even know he was British.
There you go.
I heard him in some interview for a movie, and I said, "Whoa, wait a minute."
You should hear him talk about how
he's a different style of black man.
You should hear him talk about how he got the role for it, because he's like, they don't know I'm from New York. I'm not from New York, but I'm going to hide it. Even the people who were hiring him didn't know he didn't have that New York accent. The man is brilliant. I love his work. I love him in this. I just think it's unfortunate that that Cyberpunk kind of got a bad rap from the beginning? Because if this was their trajectory the whole time, this would have been like major news, right? So first you have Keanu Reeves in the first game, and then additional, as it grows, more actors come. I would have been stoked, but it seems like the first impression
sales picked up. They sales picked up after the update a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's my thing.
But it happens
with Cyberpunk. I think what the best course of action for them would have been to, if it had to come out because they needed the money or whatever, they should have delayed the last gen versions, right?
But what would that have done? Remember what 108 was saying, right? They outnumbered next gen to last gen, outnumbered like 3 or 4 to 1, something like that.
No, it was
imagine
like 30.
releasing this game.
The system just really came out.
Excuse me.
What month did this game? What month?
No.
Cyberpunk drop?
No. But paint. Remember that picture, Everborn. Imagine the game coming out at the time when it's released, which at that time next gen consoles were few and far between.
Facts.
Right? So then you'd have PC Master Race people literally dripping it all over the place. You'd have the rare few with PS5s and Xbox Series talking about it, and most people wouldn't be able to play it.
Yeah, but
it would have been
worked out
a black eye for Cyberpunk.
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Right? We have seen Microsoft do this to success time and time again. This is what they did with Flight Sim, right?
But come on now, Flight Sim had a different thing, right? Flight Sim,
I'm just saying,
it
came out a year before on PC. It got all those reviews, and then when it was ready for console, they put it out. We see them doing the same thing now with Warhammer.
Let's be fair on Flight Sim. Let's be fair on Flight Sim. If Flight Sim had the same treatment like Halo, if Flight Sim's treatment was Halo's treatment, there would have been war in the streets. It's because it was Flight Sim that nobody cared.
I'm a Flight Sim guy from way back in the 90s.
Meaning, had they released Halo only on PC and then Halo later in console,
that wouldn't
war
work
in the streets.
No,
but
that wouldn't work for me.
Because it's Flight Sim that people were okay with. Y'all can have a PC release. We'll play it on console later. They were okay with it because it was Flight Sim. Right. If it was Halo or some other franchise that people love, that's console gamery.
You can't do that with nothing first. You can't do that with nothing that started on Xbox.
The reason you would get flack for Halo with that is because that's from the platform holder, right? So, CD Projekt Red doesn't own a platform. They could do it. We're watching Warhammer do it right now.
But Warhammer is not big in the community.
Yeah, Warhammer is not.
It's more of a cult following.
Yep. Right? And remember, this was after they had the greatest RPG known to man on their back, which was The Witcher 3. So there's no way you could have released this to half the community, and not even half, a quarter of the community, because the PC, the console, last gen console community was the bulk of that community. They would have been upset, even though context matters, and in hindsight, that would have been a better move. It still would have gone off real bad. You
see, Lucius Augustus says as of September 2022, Cyberpunk sold 20 million.
20 million. That's right. People clowning it, but that game moved units.
It's still going to move units. Man.
Listen.
And shout out to my dude that was in the spaces that said, "Yo, I enjoyed The Witcher 1 on my OG Xbox."
What?
No, you didn't.
No, not me. That's what he said. And I said, dude, I played The Witcher 1. It was only on PC.
On PC. And it was a terrible, it wasn't
That's
terrible,
so you people be capping.
It was a game of its time. You wouldn't want to play that right now. That's why they're looking to remake that one. I think it's actually valuable to remake that one.
Right.
So
shout out to the cap.
Yeah, but no, I think I think it's unfortunate. I'm glad it's having the cyberpunk essence, right? Because people are coming around to it, and Edge Runners did great for that. The updates did great for it, and I think people are legitimately excited about the game again. And I'm not saying this as whatever. I got like 100 hours in the game. You can check my Steam.
Oh, me too. Christ. Both on PC and console. I have almost 300 hours. I really enjoyed that game, because that was my game for when Halo got delayed, and I played it on PC on the 3080. It absolutely had bugs, but nothing that stopped you from playing the game.
That was genuinely reported.
Yeah. So I'm just glad it's like CDPR could take all the smoke they want, but the game itself and the story and the art they put together, I am glad that that it's getting its flowers now, and now they're adding to it. So to me, this is dope.
Thank you, Slow Mo Backslap, for continuing to light that vigil in the chat. I appreciate you, sir. Indeed. Let us move forward with last bit of some.
Okay, I gotta say something though. I gotta say something. This is my slander for today. This is my conspiracy.
Go ahead,
theory.
Man. Yeah,
and it's not even a conspiracy theory. I want to tell you something that actually happened. Right?
Okay.
Game Awards. We all know the drama of how Sonic was robbed for the People's Choice.
Here we go.
The People's Champ was robbed. Right? They were leading the whole time. Round one, everybody was surprised.
I see where you're going. Go ahead.
This is not see where I'm going. I'm telling you a fact of what actually happened. Now, let me tell you what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. The road will be winding, and the end will be very hilarious.
And the hashtag Sonic Sweep started to come up because Sonic was the number one voted for the People's Choice, the People's Champ, right? Then it goes to round two. And Sonic is mopping the floor, and everybody's like, what is going on? How's Sonic better than God of War and Horizon and Elden Ring? Right? Now we get to round three. Right? And I voted in round one. I voted in round two. Round three, we get there. The first day, round three goes up. I am trying to click on Sonic Frontiers, and it does not work. You can't.
Conspiracy theory.
This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact.
Theory.
This happened, right?
Shout out to Silver Backslap. He says Sonic Frontiers got what it deserved.
Everborn. Let me ask you. Did we go to the moon, or was those studio fabricated pictures?
We went to the moon.
and they saw Sonic rings on the moon. I'm sorry. Continue.
Now, I tried to select Sonic in round three. You could not select Sonic. You could select every other game.
But Sonic.
But on day one of the third day of voting, Sonic was not selectable.
Are you saying like hanging Chad conspiracy? We need to go back to analog. Right. We need to go back and recount.
So it's not
hanging Chads, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not until 2 days later when I tried it again that I was actually able to vote for Sonic in the round three voting.
Because the votes was in already.
Look, Everborn. Slow mo tells you right there.
No, I'm coming
Jeff
to that
caught
point.
you. Jeff caught you. I'm sorry.
I am coming to that point.
Slow mo crazy.
So now when Jeff Keighley comes up to announce who won the People's Choice Award,
he looks right into the camera and says, "Everborn Saga."
Removed the box, right?
Got him.
This is what he said, right?
He said, "Everborn, I see you, son."
So now. What happened to all the people that was trying to vote for Sonic on day one? Because it was neck and neck with Genshin and Sonic. And people couldn't legitimately select. And how do we know whether legitimate votes were removed or bots were removed? I need to see the script that they used to remove the bots. And who's to say bots wasn't voting for Genshin?
The Matumbo finger.
See, look, Slow-Mo got you pegged, man. He said Sonic Frontiers for the win. Bat.
Pause.
Man.
He said my executables was executed.
That's right. You were over executing.
Computers was computing.
They had to roll you back, man. They had to run you back.
But the point is,
Sonic was robbed because of the
whole
bots.
Thing has to be called into question.
Yeah.
And I say stop the count.
Stop the count. Hanging Chads. Let's go
analog.
About
to storm the Game Awards.
let's go analog.
With the reformed rabbi.
Wait, hold up. He just turned into Trump. Rabbi. He want to recount the count and he want to storm the Capitol.
I'm just saying.
Yo, what are we doing?
It's fixed. We cannot trust our elections as it relates to the Game Awards.
Oh, Lord.
He said Florida has something to do with the Game Awards votes.
All right, y'all broke the show.
Get to the bottom of this.
Y'all broke the show. Come on now. This is terrible.
Oh, I'm done. Oh my god.
All right. Okay. I see 111 people in here. This is. I think
Let's
that's a
go.
new record. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button.
Oh, now y'all be doing numbers. Y'all don't need me. I just met y'all light skin quota. I'm the light skin brother for the month.
So what you're saying is we using you like Nintendo was used by Microsoft? Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, before we move on to that news story, I want to ask real quick, Crime Boss. Y'all saw Crime Boss. What did y'all think of Crime Boss?
I think the graphics look super basic, but I do like this idea of you're gonna have a full Hollywood cast.
Speaking of Florida,
and tell a story.
My favorite strip, baby.
That's right.
Oh, that's that Miami.
About 8 hours that way from me.
Yo, listen, I'm there every year, brother.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm not going this year though, but I'm there every year for my birthday.
Okay, that's cool.
I do live podcasts when I'm there.
I'm not too far. You should holler at me for sure.
8 hours is far.
No, it's not that far.
These down south dudes, they driving numbers is not.
Yeah. Like just to get to the grocery store is 30 minutes. That's 8 hours is nothing.
I could walk down the block.
Just to get to grocery stores. Well, realistically, if I want to get there, 6 hours, I get there. It's not. Anyway, but what Slow-Mo is saying,
stop the steal regarding Sonic, and I agree.
Stop the steal.
But they put Chuck Norris in this. I just want to say,
how old is Chuck Norris?
Question. Valid.
He was grown when I was a kid, like grown.
Yes, he's been.
He got to be like 70.
He's been using his version of Dark and Lovely since before I could grow hair. Right?
I seen him do a commercial advertising this exercise machine. And I said, damn, he still got the same golden brown hair.
I'm telling you right now.
Invasion USA status.
Chuck Norris better be the final boss, and it better be impossible to kill him.
No, and if you get close to killing him, your console shuts off. Your console shuts off if you get close to killing him. That'd be great, bro.
They said Chuck Norris don't read books; he stares them down and gets the information he wants.
If you get close to killing him, it kills your console. Like, come on,
he's the first cowboy kung fu dude in the world.
In the world. But no, this is a unabashed clone of GTA.
But it's first.
But I'm there for it. It looks like it's really good. It looks funny, and it's priced correctly. Man. It's priced correctly. It's $40. Like, if you can buy it right now on the Epic Game Store, pre-order it for $23 on sale. It's not meant to be AAA crazy, and it's got all your crazy old.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny Trejo's like in there.
Danny
Glover's in the thing.
He is the Mexican Hobbit. Let's go.
I feel like it's like a parody, and the fact that they put all these people, like, I would watch this movie, right?
Yes, I would watch this movie. Absolutely.
Bullet Train.
You know, and people talk about how they
actually I haven't seen it.
People talk about how they're worried about how Game Pass will turn everything into episodic content. Give me episodic content of this. I will watch this every season. Give me another one and another one. Add more stars to it. I would love this. And at that price, I keep paying $40 more.
Okay,
different story.
Game Pass is the root of all evil that everybody wants to copy.
You know.
It's working.
Well, actually, the root of all evil is the Series S. I told people it was the Series S that actually killed John F. Kennedy.
Damn.
All right, let's get to the news.
That's a first.
Let's get to the news. Anything else y'all want to? Any kind of last
a Jedi Survivor. We have to.
Jedi Survivor. Yes,
that was
talk
awesome.
about Jedi Survivor. What did you think?
Returnal coming to PC with no SSD.
But you don't need Returnal to have an SSD. I just hit K-Mega on Twitter.
Told. But I was told, Dragon.
Yeah, you were told.
You need that SSD.
Nah, for Returnal, a regular shooter. Nah, no. I just hit K-Mega with that. I said, yo, bro. No. He was like, I said, you don't need an SSD for that. I said, you need an SSD for Ratchet and Clank.
But
and
Twitter
even
told
that
me,
we shall see.
But we talking about keeping the same gameplay. We talking about keeping the same gameplay, not jumping through something and loading. We talking about instantaneous.
Sure.
And I said that game won't be going to PS4. That was back when it dropped, right? And everybody was like, "You crazy?" I said, "I'll wait." Because if it does come out,
I will agree with you that it won't
play
go
the same.
I will agree with you that it won't go to PS4, but I bet it will come to PC.
PC got SSDs to compete.
Sure, but and PCs had SSDs.
You won't have no 3.5.
PCs had SSDs to compete even before the PS5 came out.
No.
But what I'm saying is, their minimum spec won't be an M.2. It won't be a PCIe 4.0 M.2.
No. It'll be 3.0, but you need an SSD. No mechanical drive is going to load like that.
I would be surprised. We'll see about that. But it'll be interesting when that happens. Oh yeah, of course.
You see the instant.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, I have a feeling they sold it a little bit too cleanly. Like, this is the only thing that's possible on this hardware. And as soon as they did, many experienced developers came out and went, well, actually. So
somebody said it could be done on a PS3. We know that was just fraud. That was like, PS3, I need attention. I need some clicks.
A PS3, 5400 RPM
it's not
drive.
Doing
hell
it.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
But a 5400 RPM drive is not the norm these days. No. 7200 RPM.
7200 is, but that's still.
And I think it might, we don't know. I would think it would come out and say minimum spec will be M.2. But
this is another thing, because you have it in front of you, right? Because I'm just trying to move us along.
Sure.
This Transformers game don't look like it's just a regular licensed IP. Like, it looked like a game.
I was stunned that it was a Transformers game. I was like, oh man, this looks amazing. Splash Damage came out, showed out. I was expecting it to be Armored Core or something else. I was expecting it to be Terminator, RoboCop. I was
but and then how for the most part, licensed games are usually just cash. This feels like it's like a real.
Yeah, oh yeah. It looks like they took the IP and really, really worked it as if it was their IP, and they really took it there. It looks very interesting.
This is I don't know what the moment to moment will be. When you license a movie IP or something like that,
give it your own.
Make it your own.
Yeah. This
Stop
is
following the norm, because everybody does that.
Yeah. So
but this was impressive.
I'm very hyped for this. I forgot about it. I remember, but at the time, I was like, this is. I'm looking forward to this. That's all I'm saying.
This is very impressive. Absolutely. Let's move along and have an adjacent conversation, because as 108 Dragons pointed out, at the beginning of this conversation, a lot of people are upset with how Microsoft showed up, right? And context matters, and we can talk about context, and we're going to get into the ABK stuff and all of that. But I will say, a lot of folks came out right after the show came out and were visibly, audibly, vocally upset
right? And disrespectful.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at IGN here. I will move to IGN's article by, of course, Ryan McCaffrey, who basically scorched earth after this whole thing came down, saying it's basically a slap to the face of all the fans that y'all just came out here and showed nothing. Right. He started a Twitter thread. Twitter thread is still getting moving right now. People are very animated in their upsetness that they came out and basically sat in the crowd and did nothing. Right. I will start with you, 108 Dragons. What do you think of this theory that, hey, some people, of course, and we'll talk about it in the context of, they were trying to do it because of the regulators or whatever. All those debates are fair game because we don't know for sure. Right.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, they came to the Game Awards, something that people expected every year. They have maybe more footage of Hellblade, or they have new things that you didn't expect. They have all these games that are potentially supposed to be coming out before the next E3, right? Because that was their last E3 promise, that there's a lot of games coming out before the next E3. A lot of those were not shown here, right? So people were upset. Top of the dome, what are your thoughts on it? What camp do you fall in? Do you think this is gloom and doom? Do you think this is not much ado about nothing, or somewhere in the middle?
I'm going to say this, man. Right? Get out your goddamn feelings. Your anticipations don't mean what this company is supposed to be doing.
Talk about
it. They released more shows than PlayStation did all year, showcasing games, showcasing
they're
individual
at every
titles.
Show. They are at
right?
every show. Yep,
absolutely. The Game Awards, they did you a favor. You know what they did? They rented the space for Jeff Keighley to bring you these trailers, right? We have to stop taking our anticipation, like even let's say State of Play. Sony comes out there and said, these are the games we're showing. We're showing 5 games. They'll name the games. People go, oh, they're going to show God of War Ragnarok 12. And when you don't see it, they go on Twitter and destroy them because their anticipation
right. You made up this idea in your head. I think you have to, again, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on what they showed and what they didn't show or whatever, and the reasons that I think for that. But like, you can't, I see this a lot where we go, and we see this with movies too, right? People be looking at the Marvel movies and it's like they're supposed to show this and that and that. You made up this script in your head. Facts. And you want to prove yourself right, and then they didn't do what you wanted them to do, so you judging it based on that instead of judging what you actually got.
Facts.
You if you wanted to write the script and you should have went into marketing, right?
Facts.
You should go write some Hollywood scripts and get your stuff shown. But that's not your job. Your job is to watch this stuff and give your take on it. So I'm not saying you have to like what they say, but don't judge what you got based on what your made up expectation was. Nobody promised you that.
Facts.
Right?
So
I think we got to get away from that. Just check your expectations at the door and do your analysis of what you were talking about without your preconceived notions, and then tell me what you think.
Now, my problem with this whole situation is, right, this gaming community, y'all built for one thing today, opposite what I believe in. Y'all cry and whine about everything. Y'all so Forspoken. Oh my God, I don't like her animation with her shoulders.
Her shoulders? Really? Like, that was the thing? Shoulders?
Yo, shoulders. Like, yo, hold on. What are we doing here? You don't even know what it takes to make a game. You don't know what it takes to run a major $1 trillion company or $1 billion company. We have to tone back our expectations, right?
Hey, Dragons. Some of them don't know how to run $1,000 company.
No.
You talking
they can't even run their child support. We're not gonna go there.
Oh, but
what I'm saying is
derail right now.
No, but it's true. It's true, Kay. We got a lot of people out here talking about business and don't own nothing. I own a business,
nothing,
bro.
man. Absolutely.
I own a business. I work hard every year at my job. I make good money on both. But the point is, I don't like hearing people talk about things or calling a developer lazy, and you don't know what it takes to make a game. Stop. We need to stop. This community needs to stop. We need to respect these hard. It's like somebody going to your job and telling you, you've been there 10 years, you don't know your job. And they on the outside looking in. You don't know how to do your job. You gonna look at them like, I work here. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me I know how to do my job? It's the same situation.
Well, and again, I want to clarify that though. It's not saying you gotta like something. You can say you didn't like it for whatever reasons, but once you start criticizing, I think people's, it's weird, right? Like you said, you don't know how to do this. I don't come to your job to tell you to take the what out your mouth, right?
Right.
Don't come here and say that unless you know what that takes. Now, if you said like, yo, I thought the game was trash, I didn't like it for this and that reason, that's fine, right?
That's
because
your opinion,
we not obligated to like what these corporations throw at us.
Right. So hold on. And this is genuine.
You gotta excuse me.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. The chat is lively. I'm actually bringing the chat in on this. This is not a one-sided thing, right? We're not here trying to bash anyone who thinks that there's some righteous smoke to be levied, right? And a great member of the community, Big Mad Mo, saying, how many years has it been since they bought these studios, right? So some people have righteous anger about the situation. I hear you, Everborn. Like, there's a lot of false narrative peddling going on here, as tends to be when Xbox is
I want to expand on that right now. Saying we have been waiting too long since they bought these studios is valid. It's one thing, and I completely understand.
Hold on, they just got Bethesda.
Wait a minute.
We're not talking about Bethesda. Let's talk about beyond Bethesda.
So what I'm saying is, I think that question is entirely separate from what they showed at the Game Awards or not. Those are two separate questions.
Well,
right?
well, I think the needle that some folks, and I'm trying to have a general reading that's not necessarily about the false narratives or trying to peddle something, but those who are genuinely perturbed by the situation, I suspect that it has something to do with, hey, there's been a lot of game studios under your belt, even beyond Bethesda, right? Even before that, there have been strategic purchases made for 5+ years now, and we've seen no output at all. And they were hoping that, even with the context, what's going on in the background, and obviously context matters, they were hoping to see something special. Hey, maybe this is the thing you've been waiting to see from Compulsion all this time, right? Because Compulsion has been in the background for a long time now. No hide nor hair, right? We know all the context matters, but for those who are upset, they're hoping to see something different, because you're always here with something.
I do agree with Sycamore in the chat. They shouldn't have went to the show.
How? But they got to pull up.
That's where my conspiracy theory
on that board, man.
But this is the thing. That's where my conspiracy theory comes up.
But I agree with him too.
I don't think you, Phil Spencer, come out, you and Sarah Bond, make a big thing of it, put it all on social, heading down to the Game Awards. You go and you sit there with nothing to show. Okay, I think that was a late change.
But what did I tell you?
Go ahead.
In the beginning of our conversation, the show is not about us.
Sure.
It's about the industry giving each other flowers.
Yeah,
we have to understand that. People who watch these shows, they think that we're the most important thing. This is an industry goddamn moment. This has nothing to do with me and you. It's for each developer to show appreciation for the work that they've been doing in the past few years. This is not about us. I said that in the beginning.
And to your point, when people got upset, about the awards themselves, what did they say? They threw you a bone with one People's Choice Awards. How can the whole award thing have one piece that represents you? It's not about you. It's never been about you. But let me tell you, the point though is,
and even that was fixed.
Stop it with those trailers, right? It's the trailers. We're not even talking about the awards and who deserves and who doesn't, because none of that matters. To your point, none of that matters, because it's the Keeleys. It's not the Game Awards. It's his Game Awards. So take the awards part out of it. Let's just stick to trailers. Let's stick to, hey, that your platform is there to represent. You're there to represent your platform, right? Microsoft has representation. Sony has, so does Nintendo. That your consumer base are watching to see what cool new thing is coming from you.
Yes.
And just within that frame, people have a right to be disappointed here, I think.
And this is what I'm going to tell people. I said, listen, right? Our space is crazy. Like, y'all two are staples in this business, what we do, right? We do it out of love. We're not making a ton of money. Doing it out because we love it, right?
Yeah.
I told people, you look at these people that got 100,000 subs as content creators. Y'all look at them like they're doing something. But I'm in the same room as them. When they post pictures and say, yo, name these content creators, I'm in them, right?
Yeah.
It's not about subscriptions. It's not about nothing. I've sat here and I've had conversations with Jeff Keighley. And I'm telling you, the Game Awards is not about us as a gamer. I'm not telling you because this is what Lemon says. I'm telling you because I heard it from several different industry people that y'all worship.
I mean, Lemon, let's be real here. You don't even need to have background information to know that. Just watch how they dole the awards out.
Okay.
They yada.
Need to hear it though, bro. They need to hear the truth.
Yeah.
I got 1,600 real people that rock with me. But I'm in PAX, E3. I would be going to Gamescom next year. I'm not. But these are places I show up, right? I travel in this. I'm not making no money. I'm not getting rich.
It's fun. It's for the love.
It's fun.
Absolutely.
It's my hobby. It's something I love to do. And when I tell you something, it's just real at the goodness of my heart. And I told people, stop putting your stake into these shows. You don't know what goes behind scenes. You're yelling at developers. DICE works for EA. They do not control when Battlefield drops. CD Projekt Red works for themselves. They publish their own games. They make their own games. They make their own decisions.
And this is the point.
We got to understand that.
So you're 100% right. And this is the point that I was trying to make. It's one thing to say, we want to see more games. It's another thing to say, I didn't like this game for this reason.
Right.
But once we start tagging developers who's working on this, nobody's coming to your job telling you how to do this stuff, and you wouldn't like it. So I'm just saying, we gotta elevate the level of conversation we have around these things and target the criticism to where it's warranted.
Absolutely.
We got to reel a lot of stuff back, man.
And if you are tagging developers and calling them lazy and stupid and even worse, some of the things that we hear about, then like I just don't think they're the problem. I think you're the problem.
You may want to look into a mirror.
Let's have the conversation where we need to have it and not involve these people that's just trying to.
And I'm gonna say something I said the other night while playing Halo with a couple of my content creators. This dude, he's a great individual in our community. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, Lemon, these developers are lazy. I said, first of all, if you want to come on One-Away Dragons, you are not going to disrespect these people's work.
Yeah.
You don't know what it takes to build. I said, everybody don't make the decisions. They working for a company. A lot of them make 40 to 60,000 a year.
Yep.
They making multi-million-dollar games. Y'all don't understand this, man. You don't understand what it goes behind these games. But being that people play games, they think they know the business. They think they know what it takes to run a company. And I'm not insulting nobody's intelligence. Listen, y'all two are very experienced and diverse in this conversation. Everybody don't got your knowledge, but it's not for us to say, oh, they're stupid, right?
No.
They just don't know. When you come to a podcast, you're supposed to come and give people your knowledge, right? So I give people the honest knowledge. We can't be calling these people lazy. DICE is not lazy.
No, absolutely not.
Come on, the game come out not perfect. Why do you think they got betas? As much as popular as Call of Duty,
there are business reasons coming. Right, I bet you if you're upset about a game coming out bad, the developer who literally was part of the coding team is more upset than you are. But they were overruled.
Listen, man, that's a fact. But
we have to
take a break and hold on, everyone, my bad, but we have to take some steps back and stop being disrespectful. Like sending the Sony devs penis pics. How is that supposed to help the game? How is that supposed to help the game?
That's just
like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
That's just crazy. So I'm sorry,
all I say is criticize the product, not the people.
Yeah.
That's all we saying. And a lot of people are taking what we saying as you can't say nothing bad.
No, absolutely not.
You can criticize. We talk about the disrespect.
Yeah. Exactly. Criticize the product based on whatever you got. And you don't owe them any allegiances. You don't owe them no friendship. You don't owe them no kind words.
Yep.
But
now I will say
on the product
about the conversation about the topic here. I will say for those who left the Microsoft show, the Game Awards show, if you will, and saw there was nothing from Microsoft at all, and they were upset about that. I cannot and shout out to Mooch. He had me on Crossfire yesterday. And they bring a lot of different elements in, and you want to debate. I sat back with my popcorn. I had not much to say because the smoke was righteous, man. It was righteous.
Listen, I'm not knocking
you weren't there to compete.
Disrespect. Stay on their ass. We want better. We want
better. Exactly.
We want better product.
So I'm with it. In that instance, it's ways when there's smoke to be levied, I have to sit back and go like this. Because you sold Game Pass as, hey, here's where our first party games are going to be. You sold it as, now they're increasing prices because they have to, right? But if those two things are facts, right, which we have to contend with, that means people will start looking at that service and your platform more closely because same way on PlayStation, you make a more of a critical decision because you think that $10 might be a bridge too far, right? So you think about the games you buy. That is now the same factor on Xbox, except the first party games aren't there.
I think there's two separate things, right? When we're talking about context and the way to discuss these things.
Sure.
Them not showing anything at the Game Awards, it warrants smoke, and they knew they were going to get that smoke.
Oh yeah.
So now that's one conversation giving them the smoke, which they anticipated when they went there and then didn't show nothing and had Sarah Bond smiling in the camera talking about I'm going to LA and Phil Spencer taking pictures next to Shuhei Yoshida and all of this. They knew that was going to happen, right? Yeah. So and Aaron Greenberg wouldn't have came out and tweeted the next day, don't worry, everybody, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna show you something soon. You just gotta wait, right? They know that, so give them the smoke for that. Now, when we have the conversation as to why nothing was there, that is a different conversation. It does not mean, it does not mean we are excusing the fact that no one was there.
And we as content creators can prognosticate, and we can have thoughts and theories about why that is. But still, as gamers, we can just be as very disappointed as we are. And you have every right to be disappointed. And just because we're giving you context does not mean we're capping like, oh, yeah, it's okay that they didn't bring it.
No, I still think it was okay.
I still think in the calendar year of 2022 that they didn't release any real AAA, new IPs that we were excited about. I think that's disappointing.
But let me say this. Okay, let me say this. Right. What was one of the things, I'm going to refresh you because you probably remember you talked a lot of things. What is one of the main things I said about going to E3? What was important to me?
Oh, do you remember? Meeting the people, communicating with the communicating with us, content creators.
Yeah, the media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, when you go to those places, if you follow some of these people, they showing pictures of them out to dinner, eating ribeye steaks. Seafood. That's the best part of E3. Because when you go to E3, we work. If you're a content creator and you get a media pass, we work.
Yeah,
getting interviews. We're working. We're walking miles out of a day. Feet killing you. It's work, right? Best part about E3. Hopefully, Everborn could pull up. Seeing Kay Asante pull up. Getting to know individuals, and that's what the Game Awards is. No matter how pissed off y'all was, you seen hundreds and hundreds of photos, videos of these people. Paris Vicious.
Yep.
Shout out to him.
Pressing the flesh, communicating. Yes, absolutely.
Destin,
that's what it's about. Yeah.
Phil. See all these people. Pictures of what? Not the gaming awards.
No. Yeah.
The celebration of what us getting together and gaming bringing us here, doing this, right?
Yeah.
That's what matters, right?
Yeah, and what you talking about?
The consumer, y'all got to reel it back. Y'all more hardcore than the people that's making the games sometimes in a sociable situation. Now, I'm all for giving Microsoft some smoke. Listen, I gave him, I was so emotionally hurt when Halo got delayed. I didn't make a video for a week because that's my favorite title, right? That is my favorite game on Xbox. But I didn't go make 10 rant videos of why they failing, right? I just said, I ran it to my boy Megatron. I don't know what to do. Like, I was in shock, right? But guess what? I didn't get in my feelings and disrespect 343 or Microsoft. Like half of y'all did. Oh, they need to get rid of them. And now they dropped all this new content. Where's that smoke today? Where
People
is it? Where
quickly.
You at? Right.
Gamers are fickle creatures.
Oh, right.
So everything you talking about is the I make these Everborn comics, right? And everything you talking about is that's life for me at New York Comic Con and these conventions, right?
Right.
When I go there, I'm not there as a fan, right?
Salute to Sycamore. Thank you for showing up, good sir. Appreciate you. Go ahead, man.
Him. You've been here all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not at Comic Con as a fan. I'm not there to debate what storyline and who's doing this. I'm there to meet people. I'm there to make business connections. I'm there to link up with the other people making these.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Sycamore's back, baby.
Oh, he's back. It's
a mistake.
So Dragons, I've never been to an E3, but that's what Comic Con is for me. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm working. Right.
I'm a Comic Con dude too.
Right. And I'm making connections. I'm trying to see if I can get new publishing deals. I'm trying to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that people come to see me because they want to do some licensing things right there. So every Comic Con is a work event. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, as to why Microsoft didn't show anything, and I believe they had stuff to show and specifically didn't show it. For the last 3 years, they've been showing the most.
Yeah.
They've been doing.
I think it was a late decision to pull what they had.
And you know why? You know why they couldn't show anything, or at least from the lawyers, from the Brad Smiths of the world, saying, "Nah, you're not showing nothing," because I think he's in charge of this thing now. The FTC literally brought up Redfall and Starfield and talked about how they're using that. They're going to use that to foreclose Sony.
Are we moving into that, or are we going to wait still?
No, let's move.
I think it's time. So my point is,
we are definitely moving into that.
My point is, the way the FTC is talking, like Microsoft can't have no exclusives.
Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna do with the $70 billion on the line? Appease me and you, Mr. YouTube creator or Twitter commenter, or they gonna do what's gonna put the $70 billion deal,
which is gonna double A money.
What you call right? So like let's be clear about.
But let's also be let's be real though. This was a problem of timing, because yes, it's true what you're saying, right? I there's no reason to discount or disbelieve that. But then of course you heard the news you heard this morning. In the morning before that had happened, obviously there was rumors that it might happen, but it wasn't known until it was known.
How the EU came in. Well, we'll get there.
Exactly. But what I mean is, in hindsight, right? Had they shown what they were going to show, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because the FTC went where it went, right?
It did it already.
Exactly. So a matter of timing where you were strategic, but it ended up being fruitless anyway. You could have just shown something and appeased your crowd.
You're about to get a 108 Lemetius rant in a minute.
So this is, but again, if the legal team is running things now, they're going to err on the side of caution.
Of course.
This doesn't excuse what happened. This doesn't say you shouldn't be disappointed or whatever.
But it gives you righteous context.
They know they got to take. Look at Phil's face the whole show.
He was unhappy.
They knew they was going to take heat. That's why they had to send Aaron Greenberg out there to say, "Don't worry." But let's understand why this happened.
It's my guy right there.
Right? Because if you think you sick now, how sick you gonna be if the deal get blocked? For the people that's that angry.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? Like, let's be clear and let's understand what's happening. We could put the big boy pants on. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see.
No, I'm not. I want all the smoke. I'm gonna tell you why I want all the smoke. First,
go ahead, Lemon. Yeah. Give us your top of the dome for this. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yo, it's almost rehearsed because I read a lot, so I notice off the top. I notice generally because I read. Not that y'all don't. I'm just saying, just me. It intrigues my mental, so I always read. It's like addictive. First of all, the FTC is run by administrations. And administrations in terms of where they want to go with things. They are 0-6 with challenging companies merging. 0-6 to last court cases. Now, let me explain something to y'all. Let's say you're a mechanic and they want you to put you on a show that's judging cooking. You don't know shit about cooking. Right? You know nothing. A lot of these people in the FTC, the CMA, the EU, they do not know about that platform. They're just looking at what they're given in black and white. They went out here and said, Microsoft went out here and lied to the EU with the Bethesda deal. Excuse me, bigger than that. The ZeniMax deal, because they didn't buy Bethesda. They bought ZeniMax. They bought the people that pay for all the 401ks, the electric bills, the medical payments. So it's way bigger than Bethesda. The EU came out and said they never said they was not doing what they did. We completely agreed with that deal.
Yeah.
That's not the truth. The FTC didn't do their homework. Shout out to Destin. If you listen to what he said, and he's reading the documents, for y'all who want to take out the snippets and say for your console, Warren, what these documents mean, you need to read the whole thing. right?
Nah, that's too much for them.
No. It is. Reading is fundamental. RIF, facts. But what you need to do is educate yourself, because when you speak or you type on Twitter, it reflects your intelligence. And when you're talking to somebody who knows the game and know what's going on, you do not bode well, brother, sister, whoever you may be, console, pony, Xbot, don't matter. They're going to lose. They're bringing up points that makes no sense.
So, but here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Now, you're right, and I think that's what animates a lot of these people who have been paying a cursory attention to it, right? If you look at it, and Everborn, you can of course jump in here as well. If you
just give me the word, tag me in.
Okay, I'll tag you in. If you look at it, it's an open and shut case, right? But for some reason, there's been a lot of consternation unnecessarily because, hey, it's an open and shut case, right? It looks like, and based on everything we're seeing now, it looks like they have a foregone, and this is specific to the FTC. They have a foregone conclusion that they have, right? And now they're putting their facts in line to get it to equal what they already have the answer, and they're looking for the two factors to equal that answer.
And that's what they call, my friends, a fait accompli.
Absolutely.
Look it up. I'm not.
But here's the problem, though.
Once again, you're talking above water. You got to say it normal. You got to bring it down, right? You got to bring it down so people understand where you're coming from, brother. Because they don't do their due diligence. They don't do their homework.
I'm gonna show y'all some due diligence in a minute. I'm just waiting.
And I know Everborn spent a lot of time, really poring over these documents.
And posting them. And how many people have read it? Okay. So how many people have read it?
Oh, I doubt that most people.
And you know what's so ill, Dragons? They're sharing the same screenshot, and they didn't even care. And they didn't. It's the same screenshot because it's the same blue circle that they got.
Yes.
But let me, Everborn, I will let you loose.
Thing, like, please give me something that I can hold on to.
I will let you loose, but I want to ask you. I want to pose a thing. You know what? I want you to either tell me I'm right or tell me I'm wrong, okay? Because I know you've been pouring far more into those documents than I have.
More than I should have.
The thing that worries me about this is, right, if we were only talking about the FTC, right, this would be a hilarious situation. Because whether you like it or you don't, there is years, at least 100 years of precedent behind there's the Rockefellers of the world, all of that, behind the idea of rich people you don't like buying things that don't meet the threshold of monopoly, all those thresholds that you keep hearing about. It don't meet it. So whether you like it or you don't, you must keep your judgment framed with that specific element in mind, right? And because of that, whether you like it or not, if it doesn't meet that threshold, it gets cleared. If it does meet that threshold, we stop it. What looks like it's happening right now, specifically on the FTC side, is, yeah, you might win, but we don't like you, so we're going to delay you as much as we possibly can. Right?
Yes.
The problem here is, as funny as this all is for the FTC, on the other side of the pond, where the CMA is also doing one of these things, their laws, their processes, yes, they have thresholds they must also meet. Yes, they must also really, you can challenge them on certain things, but their recourse for decision making is not the same as the states. So it seems that right now you have the head of the FTC being Lina Khan, and there's a picture of Lina Khan for you, going, yeah, I know I will lose this case. Yeah, I know my case is soft, but I don't need to win this case. I just need to slow you down so the FTC, so that the CMA can give you that knockout blow that I want to give you, right? And even if I'm wrong and this thing passes the threshold, the CMA probably has made their decision already, and you can't go back on it. That's why the deadline is in June, and the deadline for these guys is in August. They're literally forcing the issue. Please, Don, go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do that bird brain look like she played games? Look at her. She got video game thumbs.
I don't, because we just talked about respect.
You might be wrong. She's a 33-year-old woman. Chances are she plays games.
Yeah, she probably plays
33-year-old woman.
She probably
plays Call of Duty. She
Pachinko machines. She needs to move to Japan
right?
with that energy. Go play Pachinko.
But because think about it, right? There are many in the community, both on our side, on PlayStation, on Xbox, on all these sides, who have similar opinions on this. Is it right? I don't think so. But they have those opinions, right? So who knows? Maybe she's a militant pony. Who knows?
But
right?
I am going to say, I'm going to say this for the record, right?
Mm-hmm.
If these administrators was getting some of that $1 trillion worth of business that is being generated from gaming, they all be gamers, right? Because I'm getting some money from it.
Yeah.
But see, they can't get in where they fit in. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna oppose anything. It's like some of these senators go out here and buy 100,000 records from Snoop and they burn them. You think Snoop mad?
No, of course not. He's like, keep burning them.
Keep burning them. You have to buy it to burn it.
Yeah,
facts.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, these
shout
people...
out to Pixelbit G. He says her job isn't to have an opinion, it's to have facts. Thank you, sir. Please continue.
And the CMAs, the EUs, these regulatory bodies, the FTCs, they're not here to protect companies. They're here to protect the employees of the company in the merger and the consumer. That's their job. Shout out to my boy Cog. We had this conversation. I was like, yo, bro, I never did homework on this whole CMAs and regulatory bodies. But after reading about a Bible's page worth of stuff, their job is not to protect Sony or Xbox.
No, of course not. Yeah, absolutely.
But people keep thinking that. And when the CMA made their statements, we don't think this is fair to Sony, you automatically know that's bias because that's not your job. That is not in your description of what entails in your job title. Right? And as a content creator, what I do is I don't like, as we all should do, I don't talk about something that I don't understand. So I took to that internet. I took to that homework. I did my due diligence. Their job is to protect, like I said, the employees of the merger of the company and the consumers. If this deal happens, nobody stopping you from building a PC and playing Call of Duty. Let's just say they wanted to take it. Nobody stopping you from buying an Xbox or getting a Samsung TV and play on xCloud. Nobody's stopping you, right? It's a free world most of the time. So I'm saying, why are we talking about what y'all doing to Sony? Because when Sony bought Bungie, nobody had a problem. Yeah, they bought Housemarque, nobody had a problem. They bought Insomniac.
Real quick, I see in the chat people asking people certain statements. I hear you, and we're not here. We're not here to insult the woman for her lack of knowledge or whatever. As has been said earlier in this program, you can criticize the thing without criticizing the woman, right? We're not here doing that. It's just clearly, and Everborn, please jump in here as well. Just like back in the day when we and you those who've watched us and spoken and hear us speak on this, just like back in the day we were given that eyebrow when Disney bought Fox, right? And that was allowed to slide.
No,
right?
no. Somebody held that deal up.
Oh no! Yes, Brazil held that deal.
Brazil,
yes.
You see, this is why I rock with you, Asante, because everybody didn't even know that.
Yes, but Brazil held the deal up.
Do you know why?
Ended up letting Fox divest because they had a vested interest about the employees. They didn't want to fire people.
They held it up.
Oh yeah, because they didn't want people to get fired in the region
sport edition
for the sports edition.
That's sports, right. Because Disney wanted to buy Fox. And dismantle Fox Sports, and
which
everybody would have been fired.
A lot of jobs in Brazil, which they didn't want. Exactly. No,
that's the whole point. Yes. You got when I said that on another podcast, they was like, "How you know that?"
Because every jurisdiction is supposed to focus solely on their people. Fact. That's the reason why Brazil did that. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here with this is the reason why we can be critical of these decisions being made here is, by and large, experts beyond ourselves, people who spend a lot of time pouring through these details, right? And shout out to community member who's always good on this stuff, Hogue Law. All of them have weighed in and basically said exactly that when it comes to merit, you know what merit is.
Done that job have said that this is a challenging
even
case.
People who've formally done the job. Yeah. But I guess my point before I'm going to throw it to you, Everborn. when it comes to merit, meaning, hey, is this thing actually a problem that we're actually concerned about, beyond the context, beyond the political implications, beyond the, well, there was a Republican in the White House now there's a Democrat, beyond the, oh, well, we have to be tough on big tech, beyond all of that, there is a core issue called merit. Does this thing actually meet the threshold that we are concerned about?
Post up,
and by that metric, everyone says she loses, right? And because of that, she's going, instead of fighting the case, using my arguments, I'm just going to run out the clock. And that is criticism worthy.
But they're not just doing it to Microsoft. They did it to MetaQuest too.
Yes.
I just said they went 0-6 in their last court cases without having the knowledge.
Yep.
They really don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
They don't have a dog in the fight. And what I'm saying is, as video game people, all of us in here as a video game people, it's not insulting her, but the facts of the matter. What's Jim Ryan's gamer tag? He don't play games. He's a numbers guy. He's a businessman.
True.
Right?
True, absolutely.
He don't play games. He don't care about games. What he care is, I'm getting a check from Sony to run this company, and I got to run it financially feasible to make this buck. Mm-hmm. He don't have to be a gamer to know numbers and what's going to work and what not works. Right? He don't play games. Phil Spencer's a gamer.
And to be fair,
Jack Trenton was a gamer.
Hold on, Runaway Dragons. To be fair to those to the PlayStation gamers who are like, so what? Their argument is, yeah, Jim Ryan is not a gamer, but we still get greatness. And yeah, Phil Spencer is a gamer, but we're still waiting on games.
Okay, so, I'm gonna sum this up. Who was the first person to come out and say first party game sales don't matter? We need Call of Duty. Who? No, let's do that. Let's do that.
Go ahead.
Because first of all, if I run a company, the first thing I'm not going to do is disrespect my team.
Yep. Well, unless
that's what he did. So, we're going to make an excuse for that too.
No, I'm not making an excuse.
Not you. I'm saying as in the people who believe in that.
True,
right?
True.
Not Absolutely. Us here, but we know that should. I was like, did this guy just say that? Yeah. You know why? Because he don't care about gaming. Right? He want numbers.
It's the same thing that Square does, right? They're always ready to throw on the bus for strategic purposes. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
We're not going to put games on Xbox. This game is exclusive, and sell off all a Western style developers, and then goes in the next week. We're not making enough money. Japan is not good enough. Mm-hmm. That didn't come from Lemon. That came from Square. Don't kill the messenger. This is not Sparta. Don't kill me.
I'm sure your head is hot right now while you're sitting on mute. Please, sir, weigh in. Go ahead.
All right. So here's the thing. Several things to cover here. So there a lot of, if you read the FTC's Twitter thread that they did, their tweet storm about
and
this.
While you speak, I have the FTC's website, actually full press release from the FTC site.
You have the press release, and then you have the actual formal complaint, which Hove went over. Yep. I suggest you watch that if you're interested in this. You can read this this blog post on the FTC's website, and you can read their tweet storm. Mm-hmm. Now, an important piece that everyone seems to be hanging on is that the FTC says that Microsoft-led EU regulators, they assured EU regulators that they had no incentive to make games exclusive, and then they turned around and made upcoming games, which are not out yet, so they have not done this, but
they're gonna do
Redfall and Starfield will theoretically be exclusive to the Xbox. Now, people will say, because there's a certain Sony Defense Force, and so they come out under the auspices of defending regulation and the auspices of defending the FTC, but really this is here so that they can defend their favorite plastic box platform makers, as they say, right? Mm-hmm. So we see through it. You're not smart because you did a screenshot, right? So now they will say, oh, well, if you go back to the EU Commission's document, you can see that in section 104, I think, clearly Microsoft has said, the notifying party, who is Microsoft, says that can you put the link to this in the chat, please? Okay.
Sure. For this, okay. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put the link in
facts.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat to the EU Commission's.
It's in the chat now. Anybody who wants to check
that the FTC is citing, right?
Yep.
So they are saying that Microsoft led EU regulators to believe that they would not make the game exclusive, and then they did that anyway.
And then they did.
Here's the problem: that is a goddamn lie.
That's not
right?
true. Yes.
And the purpose of that, and they know what they're doing, right? And their minions are going to follow them, not because there's FTC minions, but because there's Sony minions who are posing as rational people, right? The sentence is designed to say that they promised the EU that they wouldn't make exclusives, and they went back on their word. So we can't believe what they're saying now, and we shouldn't pay attention to the fact that their main competitor in PC, Gabe Newell, says that we believe them, and that Nintendo signed a thing, right? They want to ignore all that, and we'll talk about how they artificially limited the market to this made-up high-performance console market, which might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but we'll come to that in a second. The purpose of what they're doing is to give the illusion for people who don't know that Microsoft lied to EU regulators, right?
Yeah. And even the EU regulators did not acknowledge that.
Right? Yeah. The next day, when asked, the EU Commission was asked, hold on, did Microsoft make assurances? No. Not only were they not required to make assurances, they did not, and it was not a condition of the ZeniMax deal closing, right? There was no such promise made, right? And then people will come back and they will say, yes, but the FTC is just quoting what the EUC released. Here's the problem with what the EUC released. What the FTC quoted is a summary.
Yeah, not the actual facts on the
right,
the
because so you have this thing called the Form CO, which is an RFI, which is a request for information. These are the questions that the FTC asks. Sorry, the EU asks the notifying party. The notifying party is the person who wants to make an acquisition, right? So you notify the EUC. They ask them certain questions, and in their response to the questions asked of them, there is a section in which Microsoft says, oh, we wouldn't have the incentive to do this, but even if we did, it would not matter. And the EU agreed with them. But people are hanging their hat on the fact that they said they wouldn't have incentive to do a foreclosure strategy. But if you actually read that document, you will see that the foreclosure strategy they were talking about was stopping publishers from publishing on Xbox, right? It is not actually, and there is a section about foreclosing actual games from their rivals, but there's also a section that says Microsoft's future plans post-acquisition. And in their answer to the EUC, they said future games, decisions on exclusivity of future games will be made on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, I do recall that.
Depending on market conditions, and we'll let me read the actual quote. Okay, for future ZeniMax games, Microsoft intends to make these games available for purchase on PC, where games are designed for native and mobile. Okay, here we go. Future decisions on whether to distribute ZeniMax games for other consoles will be made on a case-by-case basis, taking into account player demand and sentiment, Microsoft's financial goals, and the willingness of third-party gaming hardware providers to run Microsoft games and services. This is what Microsoft submitted to the EU.
Yeah.
And in the section that they submitted that at is Form CO on pages 13 to 14. And
the best part about that statement you just made, player demand and sentiment. How can you actually have an actual repeatable, pointable. This is a metric that we meet that says that player demand is there and sentiment is there. So now we have to put it on other platforms. They basically in the best way possible said, we're going to do it. We're going to do what we want, how we want, based on what we think. And the EU went, yeah, sounds about right.
And can I ask you a question? This is from the EU's document where and this is how we know this. The EU's document says that when they're citing the notifying party as to what they will do with the future of ZeniMax games, they quote Form CO paragraph 463. So Microsoft in the document they shared and the EU Commission in the document they shared are referencing the same form. So to say that Microsoft led EU regulators to believe one thing and did the opposite is a bold-faced lie.
It's a lie.
And I'm not taking any questions. Now, I will provide you with the link so you can look these things up yourself.
You see, Everborn, this is where you messed up. This is where you messed up.
Go ahead,
the
man.
People that oppose what you're saying, they don't want to read the facts.
No, it's not about fact finding. It's not about clarity.
No. But listen, what I'm going with this account, okay, Mr. Asante. Let me tell you something. People that want to promote nonsense don't want to see the truth. What he's pointing out different sections. He's giving you the numbers. Y'all putting it in the chat. They don't want to hear that. They just want to hear the blasphemy. They just want to point fingers, right? Shout out to the EU for being real and said, this is absolutely not the truth. It's not true. I told a couple of my friends at Microsoft, I said, listen, they're going to buy this ZeniMax deal, and they're not giving those games up. And let me tell you something about a takeover, not a hostile takeover, but a takeover of another company. The new owner is not obligated to honor any past contracts.
No.
Phil Spencer comes out there and say, we will honor current contracts. After that, we make our own decisions. Nobody listened to that man. I told one of my close friends, I said, listen, man, Bethesda Games is going to be exclusive. id Games is going to be exclusive. He said, Lemon, why would they do that? I said, because they don't need that platform. For you to get people into Game Pass, you got to have something that's not on the other console.
Hey, Dragons, 1 second. Kay, look in the private chat. I want you to post. This is the whole EU document. Like, if you actually care, read that. And then I quoted, and then I gave you the link, hosted on Microsoft's official website, shared by their the VP of communications at Microsoft.
Where's that email from Activision to the employees?
Oh yeah, we're gonna come to that. So where Microsoft shows where they specifically notified the EU, and they're quoting the same form. Right? Put that the next link in there.
And of course, folks, so that you know, if you either miss these links or you want to read them for yourself when this thing posts up, in addition to the link to the great 108 Dragons, which you'll find in the description, you will also find the links to all of these articles. And we recommend that you click on them and read them for yourself, because that information is all presented in there.
So why is this important? Right? What the FTC is saying in their filing to try to get the deal blocked, and we'll talk about the preliminary injunction and all that in a second. What the FTC is saying is Microsoft led EU regulators to believe one thing, and they did the opposite.
Something right after.
So we cannot listen when they make an agreement with the CWA, who has come out in favor of this thing, with Valve, a competitor, which is, and remember, we already heard the Take-Two CEO coming out and saying there's only one person complaining, nobody's worried about this, right? But they said, hold on, he's just another publisher, so maybe it's not a competition issue for him, but it is going to be a competition issue for the platform holders. Hold on. Microsoft goes, the biggest platform holder in PC. Microsoft got them coming out saying we don't even need a contract, nor do we think they should have to sign one because we trust what they say.
Yep. Then, and if you know the context of Gabe Newell and Microsoft, that's a big hairy deal. That right there. But continue.
Then, if you don't want to worry about PC, you want to worry about the console market. They sign a deal to bring Call of Duty to a new place, to a major player in the console space. And what?
Oh, but come on, Everborn. Come on, Everborn. You know that's an abacus. Come on now. That's the
what platform are you talking about? What platform are you talking about?
Oh, that Nintendo platform.
He's talking about the abacus platform.
Yeah, but hold on, Mr. Santi. You do know that the Switch has cloud gaming, right?
Absolutely.
You do know Resident Evil, if it was on a cartridge, would look horrible on the Switch. They
you can play Control right now, the cloud version on Steam, on Switch.
They have to stream it, right, to get that visual. Hold on, Everborn. They have to stream it to get that fidelity, right? Nintendo and Microsoft has been rocking a long time. And I'm going to name another time from 2019 Game Awards. You see, when you know certain things, I always speak the truth. When 2019, you seen Phil walk out, you see the president of Sony walk out, you see the president of Nintendo walk out, and they said, we have to stick together.
The Kumbaya Summit, I call it.
But right. But you know what that was about, right? I'm going to tell you. There was two juggernauts trying to challenge two companies that can't financially compete with the companies that was coming into the game. Google and Amazon was coming into the game, right? They needed Microsoft to hold down Nintendo and PlayStation because these two juggernauts was trying to enter the ring and knock somebody's mamas out, right? They got on that stage. They're in the same realm of gaming, cartridge, digital, moving into cloud. Sony ain't got that I'ma challenge Google money. Nintendo don't either. They can't challenge Amazon, either one of them. They had the kumbaya. When Microsoft, shout out to Phil, said, our competition is not Sony. People said, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah.
The competition was Google.
Yep.
And Amazon.
Tencent at the time.
And Tencent,
they got, yeah, absolutely.
So when you saw that little kumbaya on stage, Sony and Nintendo said, yo, big bro, you got the deep pockets. We got the history in gaming, but you got the deep pockets. We gonna need you. ZeniMax deal, Google said we out. That's it for us. Luna's still holding on by a thread, but they needed each other, right?
See, isn't that so sad though? So what we're saying is because Google bowed out, and then eventually that changed the equation for PlayStation. All of a sudden, it went from "Big Bro, help us" to "Screw you."
Right,
you're going to ruin the industry.
Right,
Google
and these are facts.
Bowed out. Oh yeah, absolutely.
These are not Lemon's opinions.
Bowed out.
This is what happened.
Sony would still be "Big Bro, help us" right now.
Yes, yes. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something else that happened that Sony got problems with. I'm a Sony guy. I used to buy the last Trinitron TV I purchased was $4,000. The XBR 400. The TV was 306 pounds CRT Glory. CRT Glory.
They don't make them like that. Like they used to. Absolutely.
No, I wish I still had that TV, man. Yeah. I sold it to my boy Sean Price, aka Mr. Ruck. God bless the dead. Let me tell you something, man. I was a Sony dude, but you know what happened with Sony? It's like other companies. You on top for so long, you think your ish don't stink. You just think nobody could challenge you. The only reason Sony hit the market the way they did, which I was happy, right? I'm a Battle Toshinden guy. I'm a game day guy. Tekken.
Yep.
I'm there. Don't get it twisted. I own a PS5, man. Don't get it twisted. But the reason they hit that mark, because Nintendo took so many losses, they had to find their own lane. We ain't compete with no more consoles. We're going to do our thing. And Sony came in, bought all these studios, built a very great library. They invested in Grand Theft Auto when it was offered to Xbox first. Xbox said no. Grand Theft Auto looked like a first-party title. This is the history of Sony. But today, Microsoft got their wallet open. There's no more you by yourself. Now we plan to win. They're not used to being challenged. They're spoiled brats. They're basically saying, if we don't have Call of Duty, we're closing up shop, we out. Now you got the Take-Two CEO. That one game don't stop us from making money. You got all these other bigger developers coming out. That's 1 day, 1 week. It don't stop everybody from making money. We approve the deal. We don't care. Sony looking like they crazy, but they look like that silver spoon spoiled rich kid brat. They so used to having their way. Now, why don't you, instead of doing all the CMA stuff, dragging us through the mud? I'm not mad. It gives content creators more content to talk about. But let's be real here. How about you step up your services? Because PlayStation Now was way before xCloud.
Wait, real quick, Dragons. You are 100% right. The arguments are laughable. It gives us content. But Sony is supposed to be doing what they're doing, right? They got their own shareholders that they got to appease. They can't. They about to lose $1 billion, or potentially could lose $1 billion or whatever, right? So this is competition in the market. They don't got big bank, right? So they gotta compete in the way they can based on their wallet, and this is what they could do. So they should do it. They could do anything that's allowed within the law, and they doing that. So I'm not really mad at them, other than I'm laughing at them.
Right? But listen, Everborn, right? I own a club, right? Somebody bought a club on Pickens Avenue, right up the block from my club. So I'm petty. I go in and act like a customer. Oh, how much you rent your space for? Oh, this is the price. Does that come with chairs and tables? Oh, no, you got to rent it separately. You know what I did? Oh, chairs and tables included in my price. And it was undercutting them. Guess who's still here for 17 years?
Haha.
I upped.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I upped the service.
Yeah.
I'm 17 years a club owner. And I live in the law.
So what you're saying is that competition that came at you forced you to compete and made your offering better. Exactly.
Yo, listen, bro. Exactly. Listen. Yes. This is what I'm a business owner, man. I'm a businessman. My building's worth $2.6 million. I'm not trying to lose my business for my ego. I'm nowhere near in a category of Sony and Xbox. What I'm saying is business.
Yep.
I got other spots around me. They crazy prices. I undercut everybody. Bing.
Yeah.
And now look, people called me first. Yo, Lemon, I need to rent that spot. Yo, what's good? What date you need? Let me see if the calendar open. In COVID, I was making money.
Well, but see, to your point, and that's the point we're making here as well. And I've used this analogy on here before. You know, when you for my World Cup watchers, when you see a team member or an opposing team grab a knee, you don't get out there with the pitchforks and get angry at the dude who grabbed the knee. It's part of the game.
Yes.
If they're not able to get the referee to tell them to stop BSing, right? Because it's the referee's job,
right?
To see what's real, right? See what's actually happening. If he grabs that knee and you mad, you could be mad at the ref, but you can't be mad at the player. And the player here is Jim Ryan. He will lie or whatever he can do.
He's gonna do whatever it takes
to accomplish the task at hand.
But how about this?
No reason to be angry at him about it, because that's the rules of the game. Right?
Look what happened. The other day, somebody DM'd me, Asante. Ha, Lemon! First of all, he act like I'm not a PlayStation owner. How do you feel about that $70 a game? I said, first of all, we had $60 games for 20 years. I remember when games was $49.99.
Yep, I remember that.
And when it went to $59.99, nobody complained. But now that we have Twitter and all the other space, we got mad voices. I said, these games, you want better fidelity, better animation, better graphics, better sound, right? But you want to still spend $59.99. I wasn't mad at the price increase. But being that you want to take a shot at me and say, how do you feel? Xbox first party, $70. I said, how do you feel? Xbox day one, Game Pass. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to anybody who doesn't buy it.
Let me say something.
It don't matter.
Let me say
I got Game Pass. I'm not spending $70 anyway.
Let me say something on the $70 thing, but I do want to talk about the FTC thing because I had some more points I wanted to make. But
please,
the argument, or at least from me, was never that how dare Sony raise their prices.
Yeah,
the argument was Sony, always. Why are you bending over defending to spend more money? Because people
that's true too. That's right? True as a consumer. Facts.
It's supposed to be since the beginning of bartering. It's supposed to be a contentious relationship between the buyer,
the purchaser, and the seller. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
The seller's trying to get the most they can, as they should.
As they should.
Yep.
And the buyers trying to get it for the least, trying to get the most for the least.
Yep. Right. And the funny thing, to your point, Everborn, is the fact that not only are some buyers not willing to have that barter, but they're angry at other buyers for doing it on their behalf.
But here was always the issue. When the price on gold goes up, when the price on cars go up, when the price on interest rates go
How about
up.
Eggs are $7 a dozen now?
Right.
That's right.
You don't hear that. You don't hear that energy on Twitter.
So when they raise those prices, and we say, "God damn, these eggs cost how much?" Or this
as Mr. Boomstick says, cream cheese is almost $7 a pop.
Everybody said, you know what? Everybody says, "God damn, that is high," and then they buy it anyway, but they still say, "I don't like it."
Right.
Yeah.
The problem that we had when we had the $70 argument is because people was like, "No, raise the price. I'll pay $80. I'll pay $100."
That was not that was.
And that's when we came up with the hashtag charge them more.
Charge them more.
Yeah. Facts.
So it's not about Sony. It's not about whatever. I do not assign morality to companies, right? It's not
do what they can get away with. That's it.
It's show business.
Yo, listen, I got a skit dropping called PlayStation Tax. Y'all gonna laugh. It's called PlayStation Tax. You heard it. This is the first time I said it publicly. It's called PlayStation Tax. Listen to what
Everborn calls it.
Well, I call it the asshole tax.
Oh,
that's what he calls it.
So anyway, but the thing is this, right? I hear the argument that you can't say Game Pass. Whatever, that's not an argument. Here's the thing, like let's try to live in reality for a minute, because everybody is the patron saint on Twitter and his principles, even though the principles only come in when they feel like it. You know what happened before Xbox raised the game prices to $70? I wasn't buying the games day one for $70. You know what's going to happen after the price goes up? I'm not buying the games day one for $70.
That's right. Indeed.
Hold on. Hold on, Everborn. Don't you got Game Pass?
That's my point.
Exclude yourself.
Right? So
we don't pay that day and date.
So the thing is, before Xbox raised the prices, I had Game Pass, and then I had to pay $70 for Sony's games. After Xbox raised the price, I have Game Pass, but I'm still paying $70 for Sony's games.
Yep, absolutely.
Like, I know it's convenient for this argument to ignore that, but that's an actual fact. What is happening
No, that's a fact.
in your pocket?
Yeah, it's still a fact. It's an actual fact in the equation. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what I will say.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Do you have Game Pass?
Of course.
Everybody in the chat, do you have Game Pass?
Chances are.
No. I'm gonna tell you, Microsoft for the last 2 E3s gave me Game Pass all the way up to next year, April.
Listen, my journey is till 2025.
And I'm ultimate.
Yeah, mine is 2025. I've been paid up to 2025.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Me and Everborn.
Wait. You trying to tell me when you put your Game Pass in, they didn't take away that you couldn't do add-on like Sony did?
I love, man. You here for that smoke, bro?
Yeah, I told you. I've entered a whole new realm of content creation. We really gonna rub it in.
Now let's be clear, right? I have said this, right? I'm on record saying this, right? Mm-hmm. This is not to defend the price hike. What we're saying is one of these things is not like the other.
Like the other. True.
Right?
And now, on the idea of the price hike, real quick, Everborn, I will allow those who are giving smoke, just like they did for Horizon, to say, hey, these games were originally slated for 2022, and at that time,
that's can I say this? Can I say this?
That's the point I'm about to make.
Hold on. First of all, I'm gonna say something, then I'm gonna address somebody in the chat.
Okay.
First of all, Microsoft waited 2 years later, and the games that they decided to charge $70 for is next gen only.
Oh, true.
Well,
true.
To be fair,
hold on. Let me finish.
Sony's charging $70 for the next gen. If it's a PS4, if it's cross gen, you still pay $60 for the PS4 version.
For the PS4 version.
No, but I'm saying when Microsoft decided to do that, it's next gen only.
For next gen games.
Now I'm gonna address somebody in the chat because I ain't did that yet. But Game Pass is worse because hold on. Let me get this right, man. Because my page is.
I put it on
being sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic, of course. Big Bad Mo. But
all right.
Game
so I'm
will be worse on Game Pass.
All right. Because I was getting ready to be like, bro, hold on. I got some developer interviews. They all prefer to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, he's being facetious for sure.
All right. Shout out to you, Big Mo, because I was about to be like, yo, hold up, we ain't doing that.
So here's the thing. The point that I'm coming to is my issue with the 7, and I know why they did it. It's about the Activision deal, right?
Sure.
Because they're being accused of potentially raising price post the deal. So if they
have to do it now,
if you were planning on raising it ever, if you don't raise it now, you are going to get in trouble with regulators later. Like that's going to happen. They're going to say,
I'm getting tired of Everborn for pointing out the truth.
But that's what we do on this show, bro. Right? We on this show, we like to point out.
Man. You got to be part of the lie police.
Right,
we like our smoke to be righteous on this show. That's what we hear.
That's why I love you guys.
So then, but the other thing is, in terms of just let me pretend I was an Xbox gamer that didn't have.
Real quick, let's let Pixelbit G's comment also permeate the conversation here. We can also mention one thing: every $70 Xbox game is dual entitlement, also on PC. So you get them both for the same price, unlike the other guy. Good point, sir. Please continue.
Right. So I get that. Like, if you are, I get people try to simplify these arguments to put them into the box. So yes, Xbox is raising the price, but it's not the same thing. And if you want to make it the same thing, so you can prove some weird point, like, go ahead. But my question to you is, are you actually paying more if you have Game Pass? Right now, for the people who don't have Game Pass, this is what I'm going to speak to right now. Right.
Thank you for being here. Post up. Appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to Post up.
The thing is this. Now you from New York, Dragons. I'm sure you are familiar with the Knicks. Now
I don't support them.
Now anybody who knows of the Knicks knows that there was this little period a few years ago that they like to call Linsanity, where the Knicks have been losing. And
shout out to my Asian brother. Let's go.
They had this bench warmer come out, Jeremy Lin. So who nobody knew how to guard because they hadn't played him before because he was warming the bench. Right. He came out and the Knicks were winning games again. And there was this air of excitement, like not seen in New York since the 90s. Right?
And what's the first thing they did?
I'm coming. Don't take the punchline. Right?
Oh, God.
So not since the 90s had Knicks fans been this excited, right? It was a vibe in New York, if you remember.
Yes.
And as soon as the Knicks started winning games again, you know what they did at the Garden? They nearly doubled the price of the tickets.
No, I'm gonna tell you something better.
Right? So this is the thing. So I understand the complaint because it's like, yo, Xbox. I know you've been giving us games to play. Nobody's accusing you of not. But on the first party fronts, you ain't been delivering like how you should, like how you supposed to be.
Well, like how you
that's why it's kicking in 2023.
Exactly.
like how you marketed it. You are not doing what you marketed.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So now that you finally got the bangers coming, that's when you got the bangers coming. That's when you try to hit us with the price hike, even though we was in there.
Now there is an argument. There is an argument, a valid argument to be made. And I think even Lemon, you may have brought it up before, which is had those games released in 2020, there may very well have come with a price hike in 2020.
Right.
That may very well have been the case. But we don't know that. We don't live in that world. They didn't
have the content to justify it.
But we don't live in that world. So for those rare few individuals who aren't Game Pass users like me, shout out to Noof Nukem and a few of those who want to live in the, hey, I own this game because I bought it and I don't want Game Pass. You are also well within your rights, right? But those folks have the right to spit some righteous smoke right now. Because had the game come out in 2022, chances are it would have been $60. Now that it's coming in 2023, it's going to be $70. Just like when Forbidden West was coming out, it was $60, and then last minute they had the mea culpa and give you that $60 for $70 threshold. If there are those among us who want that smoke, I will not argue with that. But it's not my burden to bear because I got Game Pass, so this won't bother me.
Right. But let's be real here. Why are we mad at Microsoft for following the market?
Oh yeah, not at all. See, do you know what I said when all this started? Do you know what I said when all this started? I said you guys are doing what is it called? Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail. You won't leave Phil Spencer alone about when you upgrading prices, when the price is going to increase.
Right.
When's it going to increase? And they're listening to you. They've been listening to you,
$20 a month. 400
they have been
plus
listening
games.
to gamers for a long time. They're listening to you complain about wanting AAA. They're listening to you about #JustOne. And while they're listening to you complain, you're also saying, well, it's inevitable. Macroeconomic conditions. You literally created the situation that allowed them to.
But another thing to consider, right? Like of how we end up here is, you see how you're saying like we're asking them. You know who else is asking Phil Spencer that? The shareholders, the board at Microsoft.
Of course,
the board at Microsoft is saying, wait a minute.
Yeah,
all of your competitors raised their prices.
Increased. Why aren't you?
Are you telling me we're leaving money on the table?
So while it's in
Phil
their best interest,
wait till our bangers come out.
See, but so while it's in their best interest to increase prices, it's always in our best interest to fight against it, whether they're doing good or not, because their priority isn't our priority, right?
No,
it's true that eventually it'll happen. It's true that when it happens, we won't be able to do much about it. But you have this unique situation where 2, sometimes $3 trillion companies literally actively listening to you. So how about you keep fighting the good fight,
but
even if it means you won't win?
Phil Spencer has went on record and said, in the future, we're going to have to raise prices.
I mean, the delta
he didn't say that we would never do that. He just said we're not raising our console price.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm a God of War dude, right? Mm-hmm. I'm out here. I spend $200-$300. Here go another one. Last one, right? 2018 collectible. This is what I do. I never cared about $70, but I'm not the average gamer. I'm an enthusiast, so I can't
see. But you're also not there. You're also not out there like shutting people up for wanting to fight the good fight.
Right.
That's for you. You know.
I understand that people don't want to spend this money because you know, all of us here, we are multi-platform owners.
Absolutely.
We're in a holiday season. 5 games come out for Oculus. 3 games come out for Xbox. 3 games come out for Switch. 3 games come out for PlayStation, right? We have families. We have responsibilities. You got kids. You got a wife.
Yep.
Bills are spread everywhere. Bills never stop. No matter if you're sick in the hospital, whether you're working, things don't change.
Yep.
This is the worst time to be a multi-console gamer.
True.
Right? And the holiday season will weigh toll. I'm a dude. I want everything. Right? Yep. Because I'm a hardcore guy. I don't want everything for Xbox. I want everything on every platform, right? No. I try not to make no decisions, right? That's not realistic for the rest of the country. That's just not. people have to say.
Wade Johnson 1 says this is a stupid topic for anyone who has GameFly. This is a stupid topic for anybody who remembers like a video rental store, for anybody who has Netflix. But for some reason, people forget that.
It's a conversation, broaden your horizons. But what I'm saying is,
I think like, what he means is it's a foregone conclusion that people should already like be used to by now.
No, but they don't get it.
But they're still not used to it for some reason.
They don't get it. Like I said if during the course of the year you got one title for this system, one title, but the holiday season
they come at you multiple titles,
starting in September, bro. This is the worst time if you got one console. Yep. You're in a better space than having all three and a PC.
And what you're describing, that's the reason why I want the PlayStation Premium subscription to come to the level of Xbox. Because selfishly, when that happens, that means Christmas shows up or whatever, you just sitting back here and you ain't got to worry about nothing, right?
You good.
That's right.
Like I said, the dude, he told me, "Oh, y'all games are $70." I said, "I got Game Pass Ultimate, not for me."
Yes.
Day and date.
Just because
I want Sony to go day and date
for it all the time.
I want Sony to go day and date, right?
Yes, me too.
I want that because that's better for us. We gamers.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
I need that. I need that holiday wallet break.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rest of us.
Speaking of that, though, like that's what's so interesting about the whole multi-game subscription service foreclosure charge.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is this about the whole multi-game subscription service. The whole point of it is that it allows you to have multiple. So if Sony actually tried to compete and do day and date, you would have more people that would just subscribe to both. They're not going to subscribe to one or the other.
Or. Right.
Because
two
guess
great
what?
services.
It's $15. Well, one of them is great now. One of them could be great, but they're dragging their feet. Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, and I think the reason why it's not being great, it's not great because they're too far down that rabbit hole of insisting that this model can't work for their games. So they can't pivot now. They're too far down that rabbit hole.
Asante, I want them to do the basics.
Mm.
How about the games that you want us to stream or from your service?
Mm-hmm.
How about for Americans, kill that 50 hertz and make it 60?
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's get simple.
Minimum requirement. Yeah.
Right. Like let's start off at the basics. I'm not asking you to be xCloud or NVIDIA GeForce Now.
Yep.
I just want listen. I beta tested it. I said 50 hertz don't go into 60 or 120 hertz screens.
So let me tell you this.
It's bad.
Even to this day, after some updates have been done, this thing here emulates those games better than the actual system.
Facts.
Which is stupid. Because all you need to do is put the software attention into it, and the definitive version of these games should be on
they gave us
platform.
a European version of games.
Yes, and it was blurry and it was counteracting and just ridiculous. It speaks to the fact that they are not committed to this.
They're not committed.
Right?
So when they go
why
to the CMA
is it that the Steam Deck emulates PS3 games better than the PlayStation 5 does? That's ridiculous.
Like you go to the CMAs and you complain about xCloud, but you ain't putting work in your platform.
But you ain't putting work in your own platform.
Come on.
Dude, well, I mean, it's easier to go to the CMA, right?
Yes, it's more fruitful. That costs less money. Costs less money and time.
It's black and white paper.
So, but again, my whole point is, and that's another weird thing that kind of Microsoft brought up with the multi-game subscription service.
Yeah.
If I can only run PlayStation Plus on the PlayStation, and I can only run Xbox on Xbox and PC, how just do the mental gymnastics here.
Yeah.
How can I stop you from signing up to PlayStation Plus?
Yeah.
If you can't get Game Pass on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Hold on, Everborn. Let's be real here. No,
this is why
their complete argument was they won't allow Game Pass on PlayStation and PSN on theirs, right?
Right.
Let me ask you a question. This is what they said. This is not coming from me. This is what they said in the complaint. Do you really believe? Because Microsoft be like, yeah, put PSN on our service. Right. I dare you. We'll accept it. But do you want Game Pass with all their better services
on the PlayStation?
Advertising.
No way.
Right. Why are you getting in there lying that oh, they won't allow it on our service, but they won't allow our service on Microsoft. Is like, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, they'll be fine with it.
Yeah, let's do it.
They've even like Phil Spencer himself, like, and that's not even hyperbole. Phil Spencer himself has said that they have had conversations with Nintendo.
Right. We want it everywhere.
They want it everywhere. They want it to be like Netflix. Everywhere.
But do you want that smoke? You're gonna give your community something to compare.
Yep.
You know, it's not like you hearing from your neighbor how good Game Pass is, right? It's not hearing from your neighbor, right? Everborn, it's not.
It would be right there on the.
It's
on
right
the box.
there in your living room.
Yep.
Do you want that smoke? Because Microsoft is like, yo, we want all that smoke.
Lemon, think about it this way.
The call is coming from in the house.
think about it this way, Lemon. Like in PS3, PS4, all had very capable browsers. All of them did. Very capable browsers. Notice how PS5 doesn't? It does have a capable browser, but it's hidden.
They hid that because of what? Hacking.
Wonder why? No.
You don't think it's because of that? That's what I thought it was. That's how people broke the PS3.
Yes, true. But you can clean all that up, even whether it's hidden or not. That's still a susceptible thing. They hid that because it makes it more difficult for Joe Public to go in and go to xbox.com/play. That's why they hid that. That's exactly why they hid
the
that.
Same way Apple tried to hide their services with having people play through their browser.
That's right.
Yeah, same thing.
The console, the Xbox, the PlayStation console, believe it or not, has been far more forward looking than the Xbox one when it comes to certain UI things, right? Yeah. Because Microsoft has always been like, well, you want to do your computing, you got your PC, we own that. So the Xbox is just going to be for Xbox. PlayStation has been giving you browsers. They've been giving you interesting, forward-looking things for a while because to them, the PlayStation can be the canary in the coal mine and also happen to be your computing device. That's what they want, right? So they have been forward with the browsers and all those interesting things for a while now. Then all of a sudden, the competitor gets a browser-based subscription service, and the PS5 got no browser.
Yeah, if you know, it's strategic. But let me stray a little way. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all amazing. We got 120 people in here and 94 likes. Get them likes up. Let's go, man. We're giving y'all a great show, great information. And my man K Asante and Everborn is dropping them facts with them links in the chat. Let's go. Educate yourself. Let's go.
Yes. But you know what, Everborn, I know you have a lot more to discuss. Give me some. I know you had a few more points that you wanted to cover on this thing. And before we go, I want to ask the question, and I'll pose it now, and I'll let y'all think about it. We have a hypothetical scenario where this doesn't go through, and it's right now. Even those with the facts on the ground, those who have far more knowledge than we do, even their ratio of go through to not go through has changed significantly because of the new ground that we find ourselves. Right. What happens in a world where Microsoft loses this deal? You know, what happens to Activision? What happens to Microsoft? What happens to business as usual for Sony? I want to answer that question. But before we get there, as 108 Dragons has said, we still have 124 plus people in here. If you haven't hit that like button, please consider doing so. Thank y'all so much for being here. Subscribe to the channel. We are slowly walking to that 1,000 subscribers. We may or may not make it.
You moving. Let's go. Don't be humble.
We may not make it in here, but we're still moving forward. Everborn Saga, give me your final points, and let's talk about what happens after this.
Okay, yeah. So after all of the, I think if you read what the FTC is giving as reasoning, you can see the arguments don't seem strong. They don't like ring true. Mm-hmm. And we're not antitrust lawyers, so you have to add that
different
to it. But
game.
however, we can look at what the experts are saying. Yes. And people that have been in the FTC, former FTC chairs, have said it's a challenging case. They said this doesn't hold up in court. This doesn't seem like it would hold up. It would be hard to prove this based on the information we have today. A lot of this doesn't ring true. That being said, things to pay attention to. The court date for this, which is the first time Microsoft can present their case to a judge, that hearing is August 2nd, 2023. Yep. So if we thought this deal was closing, Some of us, like me and Boom, thought Black Friday the deal would be done a few months back. That's not a thing that's happening, right? Mm-hmm. That being said, I hear a lot of people running with the idea that they did not go for a preliminary injunction, which would legally block the deal. Mm-hmm. And people think that means there's no way the deal gets blocked. The problem with that is this has not gone to a federal judge, one, because I think the arguments they're making are not very easy to prove. And a federal judge would say, you literally just made up this high performance console market. That's not a thing. And by the way, I just think it's hilarious that if you're saying high performance console market is an actual market, then you're saying that Nintendo Switch literally is a monopoly. Yep. In the low performance,
in the non-high performance market,
right?
That's right.
So real quick, just to make our case, we want to create a monopoly.
Lucius Augustus's question here. He asks, "Will Microsoft fight this for years?"
Well,
I don't think
it's not going to take years.
Let's. I'll let you expound on that, Everborn. But to answer his question, quickly, the contract that they're working off of today does not allow for that to work for years. They would have to renegotiate. Everborn, continue.
Right, and there's an off ramp for Activision. Like if Microsoft walks away early, like if they walked away today, they'd have to pay Activision $2 billion. $2 billion. If they walked away in 3 months from now, it would be $2.5 billion. And if they walked away after that or the deal expires, they owe Activision $3 billion. Those are the off ramps for this deal. That being said, the idea here, and I said this, I'm not just making this up in hindsight. You can go back to last week's
the man's got gaming. Digital receipts. Let's go.
Right? Go back and listen to what I said, primetime gaming. A lot of us thought Brad Smith was out here putting on the full court press, getting quotes from signing deals with Nintendo, getting quotes from Valve, having the CWA come out. Having articles published saying like, oh, they broke into the ranks of Lena Khan's commission and they flipped the Democrat. All of that read to me like they were being too aggressive. And if the FTC's stated goal, which is this is their goal right now, to rein in big tech, who has their tendrils all over the world and the government and these businesses, for you to flex your muscles to show how powerful you are, that you could get to the Wall Street Journal and have them do leaks for you. You could have them name names. You could have other industry people come out. You could get the union to start doing your bidding. That tells me, not me personally, but me as a person, if I believe that big tech is too powerful, that you already have too much
that
power.
The fight is righteous, even if you're going to lose.
So I'm going to move to block it. And again, you have to understand what the end goal is for the FTC. It does not matter if this is a strong case.
Yeah.
Right.
It just matters what the end result is of them delaying it.
If them doing this gives the CMA political cover to also block the deal.
Do it. Yeah.
I think Microsoft looks at the time horizon on the deal and they say, wait a minute, we don't have as many appeal options in the CMA. We're not going to fight this thing in the CMA and the US. Their calculation is that maybe Microsoft will see that and say, you know what, we can save $1 billion if we get out now.
Hence the title of this episode, Delay Tactics.
Going to happen. That's the calculation.
Yes.
Now, that's a cynical reading of it. A more positive reading is Brad Smith went in there, he puffed up his chest, was like, the only concessions you getting is what we offered you from the beginning. This is not a negotiation. You'll get laughed out of court. The FTC says, oh yeah, let's find out in court. Basically. And now we're going to the administrative law judge because that process moves slower. And also a federal court probably would have threw this filing out, but that's neither here nor there. You can't get to them now. You gotta go to us. And if the internal administrative judge sides with Microsoft, the FTC can appeal to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, Microsoft would have to appeal to a federal judge. So this whole process,
they don't want it to go to federal though. FTC don't want federal.
No, I know, but in order to get it there, they can slow roll this until
that's the point. They want to slow roll it as much as possible because they don't have that poison pill, but the CMA does, and they're thinking that they're giving the CMA everything it needs to potentially do that.
Yeah, right. Now there's a court case that is coming up that the Supreme Court is going to hear in the summer that may allow, if they win, if this case is heard, this would allow companies. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
I love our community, man. Shout out to Lucius.
So shout out to the thing with this case is it would allow a company to bypass the FTC and go straight to federal court instead of being in a long 2-year drawn out process.
Because
that's how long it will take before you get.
See, but this may not help Microsoft though, right? Because their timelines are still much shorter.
I understand that. But I'm saying, so that's the thing. Mm-hmm. Now, it could very well be that the FTC says, "Oh, you think we can't do anything? This is what we can do," and now they're in a position. If the FTC would actually accept concessions and the FTC can say, we want you to do X, Y, and Z, they can actually work out a deal with the FTC. And then the FTC can say, well, we were going to go to court, but we worked something out, so we'll drop this. Now, I think Microsoft fights the FTC only if in January the CMA comes out and they can be reasoned with. If the CMA is being unreasonable, meaning there's nothing you can do, and by the way, I do think the CMA is going to side with Microsoft on this, and I think they will be reasoned with. But if they don't, I think Microsoft.
Why do you think that? Because I'm gonna tell you why I think that. They just asked for Microsoft help.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In the cloud joint. But aside from that, right? The thing to think about here with the CMA is that the threshold of proving an SLC, which is a substantial lessening of competition. For the CMA, it has a higher bar in phase 2. Microsoft is providing numbers. Sony is providing a qualitative argument, which means we're trying to prove a point here, but we're saying numbers don't tell the story because we actually don't want you to look at the numbers.
It's basically them just talking crap.
Pretty much.
They have a solution in search of a problem. Yeah.
Microsoft is providing a taking a quantitative approach for assessment, which means we're going to give you the hard numbers. And based on your own stated laws, here are the markets that you've defined, and here are the thresholds for you to legally say that there's an SLC. And we don't believe we meet those thresholds. So unless you're going to try to artificially limit the market like the FTC did, then this will go through. See, the difference is the FTC can say any dumb thing they want, and then it's up to a judge to adjudicate
to adjudicate, and it's
with
up to the lawyers to fight it.
Right.
With CMA, it's like on high. They make their case as long as the process is followed through, and you can't argue it. It's dope.
But this is why their numbers are stated beforehand. So we are going to look at this concentration. Does it pass the threshold? If it does, then we have to do X, Y, Z. If it doesn't, we're going to say we didn't find any cause to block the thing. And I think that's where they're going to end up. I don't think Microsoft meets the threshold. This is not I feel like blocking the deal.
Yeah, this is a factual.
The UK has actual thresholds that they have to meet.
Yep, absolutely.
So
whereas the FTC can muddy the waters all day until eventually some judge tells them get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, facts.
So even if Microsoft and Activision were to merge, they would still be somewhere between 10 and 20% of the market of game publishers, and that does not meet the threshold for SLC.
That's too high. It's 3%.
Right, but I'm just saying, based on the numbers that Microsoft submitted in their 111-page document, they're saying that based on the market that the CMA defined.
Oh, okay.
There's still only 10 to 20.
They're still below that threshold.
They're way below it. Yeah, facts,
right.
Facts.
So this is what Microsoft is saying, and the CMA has to look at that. And so this is why I'm not really worried about the CMA, at least from what I have read. Again, I am not a lawyer at all. I'm a software developer. So, you can't really
legal advice by way of software developers.
But reading comprehension.
Yes.
There you go.
But
again, you understand a lot of things that you read, unlike some of these other people who read it and don't know what's going on. As
you can't account for crazy. Right.
Yeah. Right. And that statement that Hogue Law has made about that, like you can't account for crazy, that has shifted the ground beneath my feet a lot in the last couple of weeks. Right?
Shout out to you,
seeing
Mr.
a lot of the
Johnson,
crazy things happening in the environment.
Right.
He's absolutely right about that.
And the EU, by and large, if you look at their case, like they really just want a commitment and they'll be good.
Sure.
And this is why they came out. They came to Microsoft's favor. And by the way, the whole thing that the FTC is saying that, Microsoft misled the EU, or they said they were going to do one thing and they did the opposite. That is not even in the EU's phase 2 findings. The EU didn't even say that.
Yeah, they didn't even use it. That's right.
If that was the case, the EU in their phase 2 would have
been
Everborn. What is that called? What is that called?
What you mean?
It's a lie.
It's
true.
No.
Yeah.
It's a damn lie.
That's why they came to their own defense. That is not what we said.
And that's a solution in search of a problem.
They came out
there is no issue here. You guys are making one up.
Right. You reaching, bro. You're reaching. We did not say that.
The thing is, even the CMA has said, I know people think we're like super hard on big tech, but in the over 100 merger cases that we looked at from the big 5 tech companies, the only one we blocked was Facebook Giphy.
Was Facebook, yeah, absolutely.
Of all, so concessions, yes. Block, I don't know. So now, if the EU I think the EU is going to be the easiest one, which is hilarious. We thought that was going to be the most difficult. They'll take the concessions. The CMA, I think, will take the concessions. If it's only the FTC to fight, Microsoft fights it.
Oh yeah. That I agree with you on. Yeah.
And there very well could be that after the CMA and the EU fight this thing, approve the thing, that Microsoft offers some concessions, and this was just a power play to say, you're not going to F with us, big company.
Yeah.
If we say you're going to give us concessions, it's going to be what we say and not what you say.
Facts.
And that's what I think this really was about. It's not about that we'll win the case. We'll just make it so difficult for you
that you won't want to continue down the path. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So, and also it is there to send a message to say, if we could do this to Microsoft, and I'm not saying Microsoft is on a high horse, but if we could do this to the $2 trillion company,
they are.
Sure. If we could do this to the $2 trillion company who
no one else is safe. We see you, Apple.
But not only is this the $2 trillion company, this is the company that had everybody come out in their favor.
Yep, and still we come
unions, and we still
statement maker.
them down.
A statement maker. Statement maker.
What are we going to do to you, who your deal is probably not as above board as this?
Yep. So
after
that's all
the purpose of all of this.
After all this conversation, I see Rel is in the chat, and his synopsis here is literally the button for all of this. He felt the need at the end to come and say Sonic is more popular than God of War. And
somebody get this man a shield. On the show.
So, any other points you think that have been left on the table, Mr. Everborn?
I just think look out in January, because that's when the CMA publishes their phase 2 findings. And if it seems like they're just looking for a concession, I think we can count this as a done deal. But if they come out and they don't look like they're looking for concessions and they want to move to block, I don't think Microsoft is going to fight this on 2 fronts.
Yeah,
they'll fight it on one front.
There's a potential.
I think there's a potential. Microsoft looks at the landscape and says it's not worth it. If they got to fight it in the UK and the US, but one of them they could take.
Okay, so we're rounding the bottom of the show, but real quick, I want this final question, and I want both of you to give me a good answer on this one. So we're there in that hypothetical situation. We've come to January. For whatever reason, they realize that it's unachievable. Better walk away. Better move forward. Right? They're $3 billion in the hole for whatever reason, whether it be legal fees or penalties that you end up having to pay, or whatever. Here we are, right? FTC has scorched earth. It's done now. Activision Blizzard is in shambles, rightly at this point, because their stocks will probably tumble like a stone.
Their stocks is already tumbled.
Exactly. PlayStation is also in shambles because now everybody's looking at them like, you mother, right?
Mm-hmm. Right? I need to talk about that. There's no consequence here for Sony.
Microsoft is also in shambles because it's like, well, we tried, we failed. Now what? What happens at, let's say, E3 2023? Because that by then we'll know where this is going.
Okay,
right?
I'm gonna go first.
I'll ask you, Lemon. You first. What happens with starting from E3 2023 and onward in this world where Microsoft failed to do this?
Okay, it's very simple. Microsoft stopped buying individual IPs, which can't be stopped. Sony ass hurt. Like, whatever.
And you
we'll
think,
buy the
you
IP. Now what?
You think it won't meet a threshold to start challenging them again?
No.
Well, no.
Not IPs. Again, they can't do that for IPs,
obviously,
brother.
Yeah, not to the extent of $70 billion.
Right.
They'll step back.
We gonna buy the IPs, and we're gonna do it individually and put the same number out there and buy it in a collective. We're gonna buy IPs, which can't be challenged. Yeah. Right? You didn't see nobody challenging Square Enix signing off the smaller companies in Eidos, right?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Won't be challenged. We're gonna sell Call of Duty to Microsoft. Now it's exclusive. It's not a $70 billion deal. We gonna buy Call of Duty.
Yeah, I know, right? People hear that and they'll think, wow, that's insane. No. They actually were ready to buy the company that makes it.
The
IP itself,
right?
Far cheaper.
Far cheaper. And technically, Activision is worth more than that $68.7 billion.
Oh yeah, that's what people were complaining. There were money people from Activision Blizzard that were ready to sue because they could get a lot more.
But who's gonna buy them?
Yeah.
It's like who people saying, "Oh, Disney's for sale." Who the hell could buy Disney?
Yeah, who's gonna buy Disney? Except for
have to be
Apple.
Microsoft or Apple.
Yeah, most likely Apple. Yeah.
Right.
Well, so I'm saying not only who would buy anybody, is who would buy it in cash.
Well,
yeah.
Right. Who got that? Who got that stock and sales and revenue? But what I'm saying is, so let's just Activision is in financial trouble. If you saw the report from CNBC, right? You saw where their stock is at. They're in the red. They ain't doing good. People say, "Oh, but Call of Duty did this." Call of Duty cannot hold that whole company down. It can't hold down Blizzard, and it surely can't hold down King, right? Financially. So, you know what? This deal don't go through. You know what? We're gonna buy Infinity Ward and the IP. Now you ain't gonna have it. Ain't no deals for nobody. No 10 years for Nintendo. No 10 years for Steam. But they would give it to them because they didn't give it to no problem. But Sony would pay in the long run. Right? Let's just say FTC goes through with it. Everybody agrees. CMA like, nah, we're not approving it. How about we don't sell it in your region? Now you hurt. The PlayStation community hurt. Import scene goes higher because they're going to import the game, right? Because you know these consoles are not regionally based no more.
Yeah, they're
like
not
the old consoles.
Yep.
They're not regionally based. So you could buy a Japanese game, a European game, pop it in your console, right? Not digitally, but a physical disc. So if you want to be petty and you want to try to withhold things, how about we just don't sell UK Call of Duty? Now,
I doubt that would happen.
No,
but that is definitely
too.
An option that they.
But that is an option that they could do that people never talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an option until I did my homework.
Oh no, it is definitely an option. It's just unfortunately that would be such a huge margin loss that'd be unrealistic to keep and then be okay with that. It almost makes it not worth the price.
Hold on a minute. There's different levels to that, right? Because the CMA could say, or the UK could say, listen, we didn't want you to do this deal. Mm-hmm. You did it anyway. Mm-hmm. Now you can't do no business here. So it's not just not sell Call of Duty.
It could lead to real ramifications.
You're not gonna sell Office here or Windows.
Okay. Let me
right. But however, there are other scenarios where Microsoft could say, listen, you don't want us to put this in Game Pass because it's unfair to your boo-boo Sony, right? You don't want us to do that. So guess what? Your UK gamers in your region, because you got no controller in the States, and you did Brexit, so you got no control in the EU.
They won't get it in Game
Pass. UK gamers is going to have to pay full 70 quid or whatever you call it, right?
Mm-hmm. We're going to make your UK gamers suffer because you insisted on it. Yes, that could happen. Yep.
Right. So things like that could happen. But again, I think a lot of with the CMA is the way that their legal system works is very accusatory, it's very bolstery, but then they actually look at the facts. And if you ever just go and look, you see what our Congress is like, which is, is like the CNN is like very slanderous, but like on the Congress floor, it's very kind of boring and
very appropriate. And
you ever watch a debate in the UK?
It is the best thing to watch on television. It's hilarious.
So my thing is, you have to understand that it's actually their legal system is a little different, so they may sound
they're
like
actually backwards than us, right? Everyone, they're kind of backwards. Like in the UK system, there's a lot of WWF in the front, and then in the background, there's real data and real facts. Whereas with us, there's a lot of WWF in the background, but in the front, everybody acts cordial.
Right. So I always say before we accuse the CMA of anything. Let's look at what the results are at the end of the phase 2. Let's actually read it, or go to Hogue Law if you don't want to read it, because I'm sure he will. And then you can accuse them of being incompetent, or you can accuse them of being in Sony's pocket, or you can accuse them of whatever, because we all knew it was going to go to a phase 2. Let them do their work. Right? We're criticizing the FTC today because we're looking at the document that they put forth and they're actually moving to block the deal. The CMA has not moved to block the deal.
Sure.
So until they do, I just say let's hold off on the bold accusations.
So what this man is saying is that until they do, the smoke isn't righteous. So hold off.
Look, right. You got 2 weeks.
Let me address somebody in the chat real quick.
Go ahead, man.
Wade Johnson won. There would be a bidding war if card IP went up for sale. You can't outbid Microsoft if you Sony.
True.
I make great money. If I walked into a dealership and Puffy is bidding for the same car as me, Puffy leaves with the car.
It just is.
That's just what it is.
That's right.
That's just what it is.
Absolutely.
There's no bidding war.
Yeah.
They would just lose.
Isn't that the basis of all this back and forth argument?
Yes.
Sony doesn't want to let Microsoft do what Sony themselves can't do.
Right.
Wait, hold on.
There's no bidding compete financially.
What is
now he brings up a good point. Tencent. There's a different conversation.
Microsoft can buy them too, though.
True.
What's the context?
They ain't got enough pockets. Plus, they're being extorted by their own country. Y'all heard what happened 5 months ago? Yeah, y'all making too much money. We need a bigger cut of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mafia tactics. But
right, in a different style of
G's comment. It was appropriate until Black people started speaking. Then people get a little extra. What is that?
Pixel, please give us some more meat on that.
I mean, it sounds like a true statement, but I just don't know what we want to
know. No, what he meant was everything is good with Black people until they start speaking up for something that's right. Because we talk against the system, now there's a problem.
He's talking.
Okay. He's talking about the Congress in the UK.
Yep.
Like they get all
same
wild.
thing with Kyrie Irving, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Absolutely.
That's a whole other ball game. But
that's a whole.
They don't want you speaking up against no system. Everything is kumbaya until you have a voice. Yep. Now you're a problem. Yep, that goes with anything. And anything, anything.
Unless you're Amazon, because I see one. Well, you know, we're not talking about today. But
yeah, you know,
it's still up. It's still
context
there.
Matters,
Amazon.
man. Context matters.
And they came out and they said with their chest out, we not taking it off. But they good, and everybody is still advertising with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It still kind of kept it moving. Business as usual.
You know who? But then anyway. Again, these are conversations for another day.
No, I'm not having that conversation. I leave that stuff alone. What I'm saying is, my man Pixel Bit is correct. Let's move on.
we will have.
Shout out to you, brother.
That's an offline conversation.
That is a different conversation.
That's a private chat conversation.
No, but okay. So we will let us rein this back in. We are at the end of our episode, and of course, by the number of folks in the chat, by the conversation still being had. Oh man, this was what I call a barn burner episode, and of course, that is because of the great 108 Dragons.
No, we're not doing that.
Thank you so much, Big Sir. Thank you for being here.
Tell
the fine people where they can find you on the internet. Tell them about what you do. Make sure that they subscribe to your stuff. All the information, of course, will be in those show notes when this thing posts. Thank you, sir. Sell your brand, sir.
Yo, listen, man. It's your boy Lemon, aka 108 Dragons TV. First of all, shout out to the panel, man. K. Santi, Everborn. You know I'm always in your chats. I always try to. I come to any podcast and try to give knowledge, right? Sometimes I give my opinion. Most of the time, when people watch podcasts, I think you're supposed to give me a knowledge, right? Not your personal preferences and opinions, just what it is, right? And I always try to promote the facts. The people that support y'all is absolutely amazing. When y'all had 500 subscribers, y'all still had 100+ people in your chat, right? Just y'all definitely deserving of the energy. Y'all definitely deserving of this community. Y'all staples in this community. Everborn, you already know how I've been rocking with you for years. I didn't even know who Kid Santi was until he hit my brother's channel, the Iron Lords. You know those my brothers, man.
Shout out
That's
to
why
I always represent
those my brothers, man.
Indeed.
Shout out to everybody that pulled up today. Listen, man, just like you see my name spelled or you see me in the chat, it's 108 Dragons TV. Anybody come through, you can always hit me up. If you see me in public, pull up, man. I'm outside all the time. I do develop interviews, tech interviews. I try to bring things factual, and I definitely try to have fantastic guests on my channel. I don't like console war, but I do talk console things, right? Everything we said today is not about our opinions with the CMA, EU, FTC. We just gave y'all what it is, right? And I want people out there to understand when people bring things from their heart from a real gaming situation, respect those dudes more than that stroke your ego to say, oh yeah, PlayStation's the best. Xbox is the best box. Those are not the dudes in your corner. When you get a down-to-earth general podcast that just give you what it is, you may have a debate in the chat. You may not agree. But when you got people dropping links and dropping those facts, you got to respect what it is. And like Everborn said,
it's about the debate, absolutely.
Don't kill the messenger. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all brothers. I want y'all to have much success. K. Asante, can't wait to meet you at E3. Everborn, I can't wait to meet you, brother. Like certain dudes in this community can kick rocks, but I want to meet certain individuals that I have genuine respect for. And thank you for having me. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Appreciate y'all. That's a
brother,
fact.
you are all welcome here. This is awesome. You gel with the vibe of this show so well. We appreciate you coming through. Slathering that righteous smoke all over the place. That's what we do.
I don't know if that warrants a pause, but I'm gonna say pause just in case. Just to be.
That's that New York on you. Just in case.
Just to cover the spread. Just to cover the spread. I get you.
All right, now here's the thing. I do want to say, just to what you were saying earlier, and I tell people this all the time. Agreement is not a prerequisite of friendship with me. Right? If it isn't a prerequisite of friendship, then you ain't friends. You're a sycophant, right? Yeah. And we don't want that. What we want is these debates. I like it when people disagree with me. Me and K. Asante disagree all the time if you watch this show. The point is,
it's fun.
are you gonna defend what you're talking about with some sense? Because I like to have like to have disagreements where even if I walk away not agreeing, I walked away learning something. And that's what we should all look for.
And let's be clear. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. To be clear, all the ones I've lost. All the ones that I've lost tend to not be on camera. So
what's one of the biggest sports in college and high school that nobody talks about? The
debate club.
Debate club, of course.
See?
Of course. Yeah.
You see? And we know that because we out here. You know what I'm saying? But some people go, that's a sport. Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a sport.
Absolutely. Yes.
And to debate is not disrespectful or belittling somebody, right? You coming from two different perspectives. You meet in the middle, and you come to an understanding, right? Like I love my PlayStation dudes. I don't love ponies. I love my Xbox dudes. I don't like Xbots. I don't want somebody to say, "Yeah, you have a Halo behind you. All you do is bleed green." I didn't buy a PlayStation 5 a day and a half apart from Xbox to destroy it.
Yeah, exactly. To put it under your truck or something.
Right. Or to belittle it. I spent $1,000 in 2 days with no games.
Yeah.
Before I bought games. Like, who does that? You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were saying people on the show do that. Games when you said that. No.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
No, but clearly the people on this panel do that because I think both Everborn and myself did exactly the same thing.
I have this principled argument that me and Kay have, and Kay, he says, "Listen, I'm neutral. I'm just a gamer. That's it, right?"
That's what I'm here for.
And I say
wherever they happen to be.
I say, and this is my principled argument, and this is how I try to conduct myself in the community and all of that. I'm a gamer first, obviously, so that's why we get everything. You talking to a dude that had the 32X and the Sega CD? You know how we do.
Yeah, talk that. Talk
right.
Let's go.
I'm a gamer first. However, I want to believe that you can be a fan of something. So I consider myself an Xbox first gamer, right? That's why I do 90% of my games.
Platform. Fact,
right?
Yeah.
I believe we don't have to pretend to be fake neutral just so that we can be credible. I can say I'm an Xbox fan, but you should still expect.
For the record, I'm not a fake neutral, but I hear you.
I'm not saying
no, facts.
No, but I believe that I can say I'm an Xbox fan, but when I talk about something, like I'm still going to be objective. Yeah, and that's what we should look for. We should look for objectivity. You don't have to, because what the problem that I see too much, and this is not just in the video game stuff, you see this in politics or whatever. People want to throw a label on you, and therefore they can color everything you say.
Everything you say by that label,
they don't actually have to dissect what you're saying.
Yep.
I want to prove that I can say, Xbox is where I do most of my gaming. Obviously I got the PlayStation, right?
Yeah, there should be nothing wrong with that. And then also be able to state some facts.
Exactly, and that's it. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I think we can do that.
I'm gonna say something else that people don't understand, right? When you go to E3, you don't see one person console won. When Sony backed out, and I got videos up, put on my channel, I had PlayStation dudes with me at the Microsoft Theater to play Gears. You don't see the console one. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
In the video game space. I didn't see it at PAX. I didn't see it at the small events we do, like Play New York. I don't see it at E3. Do not take Twitter like that's the end all be all. That's what the idiots are, right? But you only can see what idiots say if you don't mute them or block them. My mute button is like the Kimber Mutombo. Oh, not in here. Not in here. Right? I like to have conversations objectively. Yeah. I like to get your opinion. If you're a Nintendo fan, you're a PlayStation fan, or if you're part of the PC Master Race, which doesn't mean $5,000 PC. That's not what PC Master Race means, right? I like to have conversation with gamers. I told one of my boys, Lemon, I don't like spaces. I said, why not? Oh, people be arguing. I said, why do you stay? Open your own space. Get a positive space. And anybody that comes up there and talk with the co-host and the host, you allow them to do that.
Yeah.
I want to have conversation with gamers. If you say, I don't want to play no consoles, I do quests. I got that too. Let's have a conversation. Because I'm a gamer. And that's why I respect this community, man. And the community need more people like us on this panel. Need more people like the Iron Lords. Need more people like my boy Carlo from 4GQ TV. They need more positive podcasts because the soap opera channels outweigh us. And we're fighting an uphill battle, brothers. We are fighting an uphill battle to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I'm sorry.
And I see folks in the chat. Shout out to Harmonica. Thank you. And I agree with you. The real gamers don't care about console warring. I think console warring is fun. There's a place.
It could be funny.
It can be funny, but when it becomes too toxic, I throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't even want to deal with that.
He said, "I throw the baby out with the bathwater."
Yeah,
I see you play Death Stranding.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. I
don't know that reference. I didn't play it. I don't know what we're talking about.
No,
I played
it, I'm saying.
And I'm never going back.
It's fun to console war, but when console war gets to
a
place where
it's fun to make jokes.
People are feeling insulted. People are, it's going beyond the pale. We are adults here. At that point, throw the console war away with everything.
I do. Can I say something there?
Sure. You can have the last word, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. These mother effers are so sensitive, right? Kay Asante, Dragons, Big Bad Mo, Pixel Bit G. Do you remember the days when you could just play the dozens about this stuff and people wasn't making like death threats on you?
Yeah. But that was before social media.
Who cares if you make fun of Xbox or PlayStation?
That was before you could reach out and touch the world.
You didn't make these games.
Listen,
like it's jokes. We can have jokes about these things.
I'm a Brooklyn dude. I grew up rough in the street. Right? I grew up very rough. Me and King David got like we should be like salt and pepper twins. It's crazy. Our background. When I first got into YouTube, I thought this space was real. I was giving out my address, like, you'll pull up. Let's see if I'm that YouTube dude that's so geeky. The dude said, Lemon, this is fake. I said, but they're attacking me. Right? I took it to a different defense, right? Because I grew up rough. So I was like, oh, I accept your challenge. What's up? But
you want to bring it? Let's go.
Right. But you have to take a step back and go, this is fake news. You know what I'm saying? I was attacked on my channel for unboxing the Jotney edition of God of War. I got everything in the box except my game. I said, yo, the game is missing. And the DLC content. Dude said, you doing it for clickbait. This is for money. I said, I got 1,600 people. What money? Like, dude, it happened. Then it comes out. It happened to mad other streamers and content creators. And I'm like, but where's the dude that with the apology? You just attacked me on my channel. You don't get that. Sorry. Yo, my bad. He didn't come back to my channel. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we do things, but I want people to be able to recognize, just weed out the BS. Let's talk gaming. Sony, if you love Sony and you capping for everything they do, let your light bill go out. Call Jim Ryan. Let's see if you get that bill paid.
See if he helps you.
Right.
Same thing with Xbox.
Phil, right? Same thing with Phil. Exactly. Let's see if they help you with that child support payment that you're struggling with.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I just say real things like
that sets the standard for you, so you know exactly what's going on.
I love my Xbox, man. I'm a preferred player, but I own a PlayStation. I got a Switch. I got a Quest. I got a powerful PC.
Because you're a gamer first. But
I'm a gamer first.
My whole point is, I wish we could get back to just joking about this stuff, and it would.
You can't,
and it would
because now we got to be financial analysts. Now we got to be regulatory watchdogs. We got to do all of this nonsense when we're supposed to be here having fun. I wish we could go back to saying, "Oh, Xbox is trash" or "PlayStation is trash," and then you don't get hate emails in your inbox.
I just want videos we can have fun with. Somebody make a meme. We laugh compared to when I pull up, I'm on your block. I'm coming to see you. You're like, what?
Yeah, all of a sudden you got to put the mute on. Like, okay,
right? Like, whoa, bing bong, goodbye.
We gotta go. But the whole point is,
we go.
The whole point is, let's stop crying. Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? You know who you can have fun and who you could joke about this stuff with. And other people are just, I guess they got nothing going on, and so this is their whole life, and it's a religion for them. And you remember
that episode with Bart Simpson, the computer guy in the basement, and it showed his behind crack, and he had the flies on him, and he never left his basement. He was a gamer. Some of these people on Twitter is that guy.
Still think that's the way it is. That's absolutely.
But that's why they look at it that way, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. But okay. Let us dead this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Brother, you are now welcome. Appreciate next time you show up, it'll just be.
Oh, I wasn't welcome before.
Oh no, we
see how he worded that? I'm about to get on my CMA in paragraph 1.
We give you the royal
16.5. He said I wasn't welcome, but I'm welcome now.
We give you the royal treatment when you first come in. The next time you show up, drinks in the back. You just pull up and there it is. You know what I'm saying? Wash your feet. Don't put your feet on the couch.
Thank both of y'all, man, for being amazing. Y'all amazing, man. Shout out to the chat for real.
But thank you so much for being here. It's always great to hear your takes. This is awesome. We will definitely have you back. A few final words before we get out of here. Once again, thank you guys all so much for being here. We had a lot of people in the chat, still a lot, over 100 folks in the chat and watching live. We thank you so much. Again, I apologize to my audio listeners. We will get all of the technical issues sorted out, and we will get the shows out in a prompt fashion on the audio side, just as we do on the video side. So, keep an eye out for that. I will also point out there, we're doing some changes here and there. People have been asking me, hey, you used to do this. Why is the feed looking the way it does? We're thinking of doing some upgrades soon. It's going to be coming. Oh, look at the chain. He got the whip out. That is not. I use that to hold my.
I'm worse than King David. You already know.
I use that to hold my Elite 2 controller, but yes, indeed. I like that.
Power X.
Yeah. No, but Dragons, I'm gonna hit you up. I gotta find. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to.
I got you, bro.
Oh, they doing some dirty in the background. Interesting.
I'm gonna pause that again. I'm gonna pause that again just in case. But we gotta get out of here.
Just in case. Yes. Last bit of housekeeping. You may start seeing some different content on this channel. I've been given an opportunity to start possibly reviewing tech stuff. So you guys will probably start seeing that in here. And what I'm talking about is, Steam Deck accessories, Quest accessories, things like that. What you should buy, what you should stay away from, things like that. You might start seeing some of that on the channel because I found myself an opportunity to do that.
1,000. Once we hit 1,000, we should do a giveaway.
Oh yeah, that is definitely that's on the to-do list. I've said that a while ago, and that's still potentially on the to-do list. We're talking Series S custom. That's what I'm looking at.
Yo, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. Be careful of them giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make sure you give it to people that really support you.
Of course, yes, and we'll work the logistics of how we
show. Yeah, because I had some people come to my channel. I gave them something. I gave out like several 4K Blu-ray movies the other day.
Yeah.
Not one person said thank you.
That's terrible.
I said, God damn, they be doing
we'll definitely have to work the logistics of how we do it, but we're definitely going to do that because we've been talking about it for a little bit. We're going to change some of the UI elements. We're going to change, add some things to it, make the show even take it to the next level, as it were. So for all of y'all who've been asking, hey, what happened to the music in the background? What happened to switching to OBS? We're doing different things. It will all come to fruition. We're working on it in the background. Please bear with us, and we thank you for your continued support. But again, thank you all for being here. For the Brother 108 Dragons, for the Man Everborn Saga, we say thank you. We will catch you next week. Until then.
And wait, one thing I want to say. Yeah. Do not attack Lena Khan,
stop the ridiculousness. Stop the ridiculousness.
It's not
the
about
homeboy say, yo, let me talk about her thumbs.
Get off of Twitter. Stop with the ridiculousness.
Just focus on, read the documents. Read the fundamental. Attack the arguments, not the people. That's all I want to say.
That's right.
Lemon said she ain't got a gamer tag.
Stop.
I did say that though.
True. Hey man, a fact is a fact. It is what it is. I will say
is she verified like they said in the Twitter side?
Is she? I'm not spending that $8 a month. I'm not that important enough on Twitter.
No. I mean, is the gamer tag posted in Twitter? That's what they said in Spaces. That's what they told me. We can't listen unless you verify on Twitter.
We are extra slanders today. We are extra slanders.
Okay, we gotta go.
We out.
We gotta go.
Go check out the Living Split Screen guys. They're still going. Let them know that the Gaming Circle podcast sent y'all. We are almost 4 hours in, and they still going. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Let them know we sent you, and we'll see y'all next week. Till next week, have a good one. Enjoy your gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.